ahem, and a vroom, 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 vroom. Hello, Sharky.
Hey, Cass.
Welcome, one and all. Welcome to the Bad Game Hall of Fame. Welcome to Cursed Kart Racers, episode Duel. This is the show in which we play all of the kart racing games. All of the kart racing games.
They're all bad. No.
They're not all bad. Let's get that out of the way right up front, especially because we are playing the Mario Karts in the course of this, mostly for point of reference. This is our attempt to tell the tale of a sub-genre, that being the kart racer genre, through the lens, through a chronological history, through eras of kart racer, as mostly defined, mostly led, the pace car at the front being the Mario Kart franchise, and the games that attempted to rip it off, that attempted to one-up it in some regards. Our first episode centered around Super Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Perhaps you've heard of it. And this episode is going to bring us into the mid-90s, into 1996, where we start, and through to the beginning of the 2000s. And we'll center around the release of a little game by the name of Mario Kart 64 for the Nintendo 64. Perhaps you've played it. And whereas the original Super Mario Kart inspired certainly like a wave of imitators, certainly got a genre off the ground, it's here where the floodgates well and truly open, where the dam bursts wide, where people realize there is money to be made in this kart racing subgenre, and where every mascot character across all the major publishers come out to the racetrack, come out for a day at the races. So we will certainly be getting into that. In fact, there are so many games in this particular block, in this generation, in this era, that we're probably going to have to split this into two. I have a whole list here that's nearly 100 games deep. Just kart racers. And I try to section them off. I try to put them in some sort of, like, block sort of thing, so I know, like, you know, here's what we're gonna hit in this episode, which game is gonna center around as, like, the one that all the other games are drawing influence from. Let's just say this episode is where originally when we started this, we were thinking, like, maybe, like, 6 or 7 episodes. There's, like, 7 Mario Kart games, right? That was optimistic of us. This is going to run for a while, this series, so expect this to run for the next several months. Assuming we even finish it before the end of the year with how many goddamn kart racing games there are. Are you looking forward to it, Sharky?
Yeah. I mean, I like a kart racer every now and then.
Tell me how you feel about Mario Kart 64 in particular.
Well, you know, maybe once we play Mario Kart 64.
Yeah, it's probably a smarter way to do it. That's probably a good way to compartmentalize that stuff. But okay, before we get into the games, we of course have to get into the pit lane, where in addition to repairing the vehicle, must repair the soul, and the quickest way to the soul is through food, and this is the most tortured segue to Sharky's Stream Snack segment. I'm through coming up with disgusting segues. Now we're just into painfully drawn out segues into this segment of the show.
Well, tonight's Stream Snack is Pagoda pork egg rolls. Now, I plan out these stream snacks with my own metrics, my own rubric. Like, there's a method to my madness. And today was the day I had to have these egg rolls. And that's unfortunate because my air fryer basket comes in on Monday. That would have been great for this. But these are so good. Very hot, though, right now. As in, out of the oven hot. Like, you ever burn the top of your mouth, right?
Only every time I eat.
And you can feel like a part of the top of your mouth is no longer there, and you're like, how did that happen? Like, I don't think just being hot should have done that, but anyway, that'll heal itself over time. And tonight's drink is Alani Nu Blue Slush. As you may remember, the third best of the slush flavors that Alani Nu makes, but they're all good.
Yeah, nothing so new about it now that it's a repeat on our program.
Yes. Unfortunately, I have run out of every Alani flavor until they make another seasonal one. I don't know. I hope they do something for, I don't know, Valentine's Day? Easter?
Heart flavored.
we're in Mardi Gras right now, or not in. We're not in Mardi Gras right now, but we're in Mardi Gras season. We're in king cake season. They need to put out a king cake energy drink. I need to go find a king cake energy drink. Now that I say those words out loud. Anyway, what are you having? Your usual?
Just the usual. Just chugging my Monster, hoping it revs me up for the games to come. That'll do it for the stream snack segment.
I think that'll do it. The short one today.
All right, fair enough.
We've got a lot of games ahead of us.
I also should say, you should probably say for the record, just to put it out there, that you're not at 100 tonight.
No, I'm not. I threw my back out, so I'm power through. I got a chair in here today. I'm doing. Usually, I sit on my bed just without any sort of back support at all. That's not going to do it today, so I have a chair now.
Very
good.
Go
figure. This is a preview for the days when I get the desk.
The stream furniture segment, Sharky's stream furniture, coming soon to a stream near you. Thank you, Sharky.
That uses Chop Chop Master Onion's instrumental for that part.
I do want to thank you though for pulling it out, sticking with it, and being here on the show tonight. And I hope the folk at home appreciate it as well. Let's get to the first game of tonight, which is not going to be Mario Kart 64 because, lest we forget, there was still a time where other kart racing games existed, like actual proper kart racing games, like ones based around real-life go-karts and real-life racer endorsements, which brings us to 1996's Ayrton Senna's Kart Duel. This was developed by GAPS and published by Sunsoft September 13th of 1996. We made passing references to Ayrton Senna in the first episode of this. He is, his full name, by the way, Ayrton Senna da Silva, Brazilian Formula One driver, perhaps one of the most decorated and famous drivers in the world. But before his Formula One days, he had actually begun his racing career in the realm of go-karts. His first go-kart was actually built by his dad, who operated an automotive factory, and they built a custom go-kart using a small 1-horsepower lawnmower engine. But it wasn't long. At the age of 13, he entered his first kart racing competition, went on to win the South American Kart Championship in 1977, contested the Karting World Championship 5 times between 1978 and 1982, finishing as a runner-up in 2 of those years.
Not to diminish any of his accomplishments, but do you think professional go-kart racer is something you aspire to or something that you fall into by accident?
I think it's a good entry point for getting into more serious cars, more serious high-octane vehicles. I think it's relatively safe by comparison.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things where if you enjoy the speed, I think he would go on to say that, his time spent in kart racing was the most pure racing that he got to encounter, that he got to deal with on a day-to-day basis, even as he was a highly respected Formula One driver. In fact, let's look at the this advertisement flyer where he's quoted as saying, "It's the purest form of motorsport about kart dueling," as it were.
Yeah, like, not to diminish, like I said, not to diminish what he does with the sport. It's just one of those things you don't think about. I think most people don't think about. It's like, oh, I guess you could get really good at that. I guess you could make some sort of career out of doing that.
Well, we didn't used to have go-kart places all over the place as they are now. Like, you can find go-karting in any given state at this point, I feel. Mm-hmm. And that's a good thing, because it's fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I do want to say this isn't the first Ayrton Senna sponsored video game. I believe the first... they're certainly the most important, the most branded, and the most significant is 1992's Ayrton Senna's Super Monaco GP2 for the Sega Genesis, which was developed and published by Sega, featured voice-sampled lines from Senna giving you advice, and it also included a track based off of his personal farm that he owned, the Tatooine track in that game. There's more to be said, but we'll get into that once we get into the game. I just want to remind folk, some people already know where we're going with this. Some people already know what's maybe a little weird about this game, but I'm assuming, Charky, do you know anything about this man?
Well, I did notice because I'm looking at the notes
No, don't.
as well. No. I'm saying I'm looking at the notes as you're doing it, and I noticed part of it is redacted. So I don't really know anything about this man because the notes are redacted.
All right, so we'll be fully in suspense then.
I am in fact surprised you went so far as to redact them, considering it's only you and me looking at them.
Yeah, well, I kind of had a
Alright.
hunch you weren't going to be a racing expert, that you weren't well versed in Formula One.
Wait,
I already recapped this history, so I mean, I don't know why the game is being so redundant here.
who is publisher on this again?
Sunsoft.
Okay.
As Senna himself says, karts are a wonderful education for children. It's a safe and healthy sport that encourages a spirit of competition. You can find further pearls of wisdom from him in the Sega Saturn game titled Ayrton Senna Personal Talk Message for the Future, published in 1995, which is literally just a series of interviews. No gameplay. It's literally just sit down and listen to Senna give a message to the future.
That really feels more like a Philips CDI product than a Saturn product.
Yeah,
okay.
it also presents like a Philips CDI product, that one. Banger soundtrack on it, though. Don't you just love kart porn? It's look,
You're
man,
out
look
of
at that
touch.
vehicle.
You're out of time.
So this game, I believe, features a number of real-life professional go-karting tracks, a lot of them emanating from Japan, where I believe Senna did race at least a couple times, presumably. Alright, so that should do it for the intro. Oh, a little cute cartoon Senna here. Licensed by the Ayrton Senna Foundation.
Foundation.
Oh yeah, you know, he had some interests, non-profits and stuff, I imagine.
Okay.
Senna Memorial data.
I'm getting the feeling that he died before this game came out, considering the game literally started with "in memory of."
Yeah, so in 1994, he died as a result of an accident in a Formula One race. His funeral was attended by an estimated 3 million people, so famous was he. He was actually one of the last fatalities in Formula One until around 2015 because of like safety regulations that got passed. In fact, the day before, the day that he died, another racer had died on the same track as part of the same preparations for the same race. So this game is a memorial of sorts to him, as is that message for the future.
Soul Stuff says, "quote unquote" safe sport for children." He didn't die in a go-kart accident.
No, he died in Formula One, to be clear here. Not in go-karting. It's a gateway drug to more dangerous racing. Yeah, so I'm just gonna come out and say it. A little weird to release like a go-karting game based on a guy who passed in a major motorsports 2 years after the fact.
If it,
But the
my
foundation signed
assumption-
off on it.
Yes. My assumption at the start, I mean, I figured that he died, but the moment it said "in memory of," my assumption was the game was in the works before he died. But if it was 2 years before, and this is like mid-90s, this is probably after he died. They started working on this, right? Like maybe the foundation like proposed this idea, right? Like we want to
you'd
do
presume
a
so.
go-karting game in his memory and to promote the thing that he wanted to promote, which was, you know, safer racing.
Yeah.
Like an entry-level racing.
Still a strange context around this game, though. And he's continued to appear in video games. They haven't stopped putting this dude in video games in, like, some of the major sports franchises and the major F1 games. Don't ask me how.
3, 2, 1, go! Oh my god!
Great voice acting in this. So, go-karting.
Yeah.
This is what it looks like.
I think I've done it once in real life. Like, I mean, you know, I'm not a competitive go-karter. I went to some sort of arcade and amusement place. They had like mini golf and stuff, and they had a go-kart track. And I drove on it, and I think I won.
Well, that's good. It's always good to win.
So I retired on top.
I just chose the time trial mode so I can pick any random track. Otherwise, you have to go through the championship mode, which does them in circuit sequence. This is fine. It's maybe even good. I would dare to say this game is good for as simple as it is, for as straightforward as it is. If you're looking for no-frills go-karting, boy howdy, this is the game for you. Selection of tracks, selection of vehicles.
No turtle shells. No mushrooms. Unless you bring them. And it's usually advised that you don't.
Yeah. Take it from Japan. Take it from the real-life Mario Kart circuits that constantly run under government scrutiny, that they're constantly, like, getting shut down for being nothing but, like, pure hazard to pedestrian and driver alike. We were playing in Champion...
but when a racetrack is a pure hazard to life in a video game is fine. I see how it is.
Yeah, double standards. Rules for thee and not for me. If we were playing in the championship mode, we'd have to first qualify, do a qualifying race to see where we, what position we start at in the race to follow before getting into the actual race. Oh, geez. That lady is standing dangerously close. I think I may have actually clipped her, but, luckily there's no collision there. There's no model for that. I mean, I made it this far. I might as well finish the race. The turns. It's a game about the turns here, and managing them as gracefully and deftly as possible.
You know, after you finish this, okay, let me ask you: what is your plan for after you finish this race here? What's your step 2 here?
For this game or for the stream?
Yes, for this game.
We should probably
is there multiplayer?
There is multiplayer. We should probably do a round of multiplayer at the very least.
I was about to say if there's no multiplayer, then I want to get have hands on. But yeah, let's do multiplayer.
Let's double check.
Is it an online service?
Is this possibly, potentially, System Link multiplayer?
It might be System Link multiplayer. That was my, no. Did I get it?
I pressed X and that took us back.
Okay. Oh, you know what? Try it one more time. It's a European game.
Try circle?
Hit circle. No.
Start?
Okay. Nope. All right, that might be a System Link game. In that case, let me get a go at a time trial.
Yeah, no, actually, you know what? Let's make you do the race. Just to see if we can get some other people on the road with us.
Okay.
Circle, though. You do want to use circle. Yeah, I may have already raced the Yamaha, so you gotta go right into Dunlop.
Oh, okay, I don't even get a choice. And
go for 3.
Alright. Real quick, controls.
X to accelerate, square to hit the brakes. There's probably some camera control buttons. You pressed X.
Yep. That's me, the dumb American. Hitting X.
Also, I apologize if I mispronounced Ayrton Senna. I looked up a pronunciation guide immediately before the show just to try and not get it wrong. And in the YouTube result was real life pronunciations, people saying his name, which was the compilation of clips from random YouTube videos. So it opens with, I'm going to talk about Ayrton Senna, and what if he was a JavaScript developer, before cutting to the next video. So it was like they pulled a clip from some dude's shitty like slideshow presentation at some tech conference, theorizing as to Ayrton Senna, he's a great racer, but what if he was a JavaScript guru? I don't know. I guess what if? I'll never know because I'm never going to watch that fucking video.
Do you think that's like the only... Oh, I have to start for time trial anyway.
Yeah, but a single lap.
Okay. Do you think that's like the only sort of like speech that guy makes? Like, Mahatma Gandhi was like a great man, but what if he was a JavaScript developer?
You're keeping this one slow. You're going slow and safe on this one.
I forgot what button. Thanks.
Oh my god!
Yeah, safe, I guess. I understand now. That's interesting to me, because that means that if you're not pressing the gas, you still go forward.
Yeah, there's some initial momentum from when you're pushing the cart along.
Oh no, I wasn't hitting gas until you said I'm taking it real slow, so...
Well, when you start the race, you see your guy, like, pushing the cart along. It's that little brief cinematic at the top of the top of the race.
Bad at controlling this game.
Yeah, I'd recommend doing third person, which I think is like, yeah. And it's really all about attacking those corners.
Alright. I'm twice as good as the record.
That's how it works. You're such a speed team, and they have to put you in last to give the other racers a chance. That's how I understand the starting grid to work.
3, 2, 1.
And you get to see some of the other racers here.
What?
If you bump into them from behind, half the time you clip through them. Which, as I'm to understand, is not how it really works in kart racing. That you don't defy the laws of physics. Usually you get a black flag. Usually you get kindly asked to leave the go-kart track when you bump into people consistently. This is fine, right?
I think this is a racing game that I don't have a handle on, which is most racing games.
Now,
But it's very much like a racing game rather than what we would... I mean, it is definitely a kart game. There is no denying it. But
Yes.
it is not as we've come to define kart games in
yes,
our
as
common
we
language.
define it, as we know the kart game to be, we associate with the items, with the Mario Kart style approach, and not the simulator-driven approach. So even though this is the most pure kart game imaginable, it somehow does not qualify as a kart racer by the criteria of this series
Yes.
about kart racers, which is an interesting little paradox, an interesting little... But I'm gonna let you finish this anyway.
I'm extremely bad at this. It would be fun if we lived in a world where, like, all early football games are just like Mutant League football. So then when, like, Madden comes out and stuff, it's like, oh, that's
this is
not
a
really
pure
a football game.
It's not
right?
football as we've come to understand it, based on.
Like, there's no orcs. That's weird.
Congratulations.
This text scrolls up on the screen. Get a new hobby.
Maybe you're not cut out for this. Senna comes back. He has a message from the past for the future where he says, try, like, unicycles or something. I don't know, kid. This is...
It's just a list of other Sunsoft products you could play.
That'll do it for Ayrton Senna Kart Duel. Which means that it is time to move on to a real kart racing game, if you will. To the center point of today's episode. Mario Kart 64. This has to be, just in my mind, this is one of the most played video games. This has to be, so many people must have cumulatively logged billions of hours into this game. Because when I think of like racing games, I still think of Mario Kart 64, for better or for worse. When I think of multiplayer gaming, I think of 4 people with N64 controllers plugged in playing Mario Kart 64. This game is just ubiquitous in a way that nothing else quite is to me. So let's talk a little bit about its production. Not as much as we had for the Super Mario Kart, being that really was like the genre innovators. Is more just perfecting that idea, as some would say. Production development began on this game in 1995 with the tentative title of Super Mario Kart R, where the R was meant to stand for rendered. Being that it was a 3D game. This game was actually developed concurrently with Super Mario 64 and The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and was intended to be a launch title for the Nintendo 64. That didn't end up happening, namely because one Shigeru Miyamoto was spending the bulk of his time that he's supposed to be spending like evenly between these projects, just focusing on getting Super Mario 64 to be like, you know, spot on and perfect to be like the go-to debut de facto 3D platformer. So that insight comes from that Iwata ass that we did reference previously about the oral history of the Mario Kart franchise. But, you know, ultimately this game does come out and it moves like a gazillion units. I actually don't have the sales numbers here. It's probably something like in the millions, probably maybe even like 10 million, probably at the highest, maybe more like 7 million, 8 million for as ubiquitous as it is. That's something I probably should have made a note on. Someone in the chat, I'm sure, can look that up and correct me. I am going to further quote from the Japanese strategy guide as translated by Shmupulations, where we have another couple quotes here from the developers. I do like the fact that these Japanese strategy guides would feature interviews with the developers, give you a little bit of insight into the game and who made it. Just because I'm always interested in that sort of stuff. We are looking at a ad flyer here for the game. In case you're wondering what that little bit of text says, it says, with Nintendo 64, you get 360 degrees of total control. With Super Mario Kart 64, you lose it. It's a 4-player free-for-all that breaks every law in the book. So Nintendo, positioning Mario as a criminal, as a filthy street racer, not beholden to man's law. And Shigeru Miyamoto expands on that in these interviews, as translated in Shmupulations. So you want to know what changed from Super Mario Kart to Mario Kart 64, and what stayed the same? That's a tough one. Mario Kart, you see, was meant to appeal to a wide audience. We wanted to make a game where anyone from age 3 to 100 could jump in and start competing right away, regardless of their skill level. So in making a sequel, we decided that we didn't want to change most of the basic elements of the game. People have been saying video games are evolving, and while there are some things that surely have to change, the truth is, keeping things the same does make it easier for the average person, doesn't it? I mean, of course, if you play Mario Kart 64, I think you'll understand this, but I'm not saying we kept everything the same. It's just that this time, we focus on changing the internal processes, the things under the hood, which the player doesn't see. Moving on to Hideki Kono, who is a lead producer director on this project. We experimented a lot. Mario Kart 64 features a 3D analog stick, right? That analog stick is actually very similar to what you'd use to control an RC vehicle. So I bought a few RC vehicles to get a feel for it. The programmers did a bunch of research on the mechanics and physics of cars, too, and even created a computer simulation of those RC cars. Somehow, it just didn't feel like go-karts. It was too realistic, too niche. We had some girls try it, and it was totally unplayable to them. We knew this wouldn't work, so we then spent a lot of time talking things over and making adjustments. Almost nothing remains, therefore, of that first prototype we made. I guess that ultimately, the controls we came up with were more straightforward, but on the positive side, they were much easier to understand, and even a kid could more or less figure things if you let him play for 10 minutes. It's a shame that girls can't play this.
Still couldn't crack the mystery of how girls could play the game.
Yeah, they kept trying to apply lipstick to the controller, and we had to be like, no, please, you have to try and... Just random, completely out-of-pocket comment from Kono there. I mean, I guess, this was a time where... I don't know. I can't really justify that comment much.
Trying to justify it?
Yeah, I'm not even going to bother.
Maybe there was some law in the books that, like, girls are not allowed to play video games in Japan. They had to sneak them in.
Well, let's get this game up and running. Going to be instantly familiar to our audience, I assume. dial in the volume, too.
Welcome to Mario Kart.
Yeah, this should do it. Okay. So you know it, you love it, it's Mario Kart. I'll do a quick couple races. I wish the time trials had computer opponents, but this is the first one to feature 150cc. If you remember, the SNES version capped out at 100.
Look at those beautiful renders.
Our cast of characters here. I think Peach isn't particularly good in this. Unfortunately, at least not the way I control. At least not the way that I handle. So I always default to Toad.
I think Toad is in the same weight class as Peach, though.
Maybe, but I have more practice in the particular way they handle, I think. I'm sure everyone in the universe has played Mushroom Cup 100 times over. Special Cup would bring us to Rainbow Road. This has some of the most interesting, most complex tracks in the game. I'm just going to settle for the Flower Cup.
Now, Toad's Turnpike is fine when it's in the video game. But you bring it to the real streets of Japan, and all of a sudden, the government's
everyone's up in arms. This is my least favorite track in Mario Kart. Just the cars are completely unpredictable to me.
This isn't my favorite track, but I always like when they bring this back. It is fun, but it's not my favorite.
So, immediately, you know, the jump to 3D makes this a much more immersive game, a much more playable game, a much more readable game, as opposed to the completely flat surfaces seen in the Super NES Mario Kart. Sense of speed is much more palpable. The variety is obviously much more substantive as well. Can I just drive through the vehicles with this? Yeah, you sure can.
Also, you're getting some wild items for being, like, in first and second place right now. What is happening? Or that's more like it.
I think because I was neck and neck with Peach, I think I may have been, like, losing first. Like, I'm losing right now.
Even still, like, usually they save the invincibility star for, like, if you're in 6th place. Yeah, that's wild.
I was born lucky, baby. Now, let's see if I can... Oh, well,
that was yours.
That was mine. I was hoisted by my own petard. It's... Luckily, the CPU doesn't know how to deal with these things either, so... how to deal with traffic on the road. So, thoughts on Mario Kart 64? Oh, you go first.
I was about to say, Johnny Bag in chat says, I watched a video recently that suggested the karts being sprite-based was a flaw, or some sort of poor choice on the devs' part, when it's the only reason the game runs at a stable frame rate.
Yeah, they talk about that in the further snippets from the interview in the strategy guide. They're like, yeah, we have to do the billboarding thing because, like, otherwise this shit would not have run. Like, we could have done 3D models, then we would have had to have the frame rate. Lightning in second place. You're right, this is fucked. Weird. Yeah, you are supposed to not have access to the best stuff when you're in the lead.
Are you playing like a hacked version of this ROM?
Maybe. Oh, well. Karma got me.
Yeah, also because Lightning, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Lightning only works on the people in front of you. So, it's a weird place to get it. Thoughts on 64. Yeah, I played this game so much as a kid with N64. I never owned it. I didn't own a lot of Nintendo 64 games, but I rented this constantly. This is so fucked up. This luck you're getting is so.
Well, I was in fourth place.
Unless Mario 64 is like Mario Kart 64 is balanced in a way I really don't remember.
I'm just counting myself lucky right now. Any means necessary, baby.
I remember what I liked to do in this game when I was a kid was, beyond just racing, I would go into time trials and just, like, explore the maps.
Yes.
Especially, like, in the larger ones.
Examine those details.
Yeah, find little shortcuts, weird places in it. You know, as an adult, I have not played this game in a very long time. But I do like watching videos on, like, speedruns of this game.
People just breaking it wide open.
They do some wild stuff. Like, this map in particular, like at the very start there, you can just like go around in a circle and just win.
Yeah, it's fun to watch that stuff. Jesus wept. Maybe I should play the game that way with how bad my luck usually is. It's surfacing here, finally. That first track was an anomaly. It was a gimme. Now it's all downhill from here. See? Oh, did you see that red shell come backwards, land directly underneath Bowser, and... But yeah, like... Oh, there's my blue shell.
I mean, that makes sense in 6th place at least. Also, yeah, this one doesn't have coins, does it?
No, they quickly realized that was dumb.
Well, no, I mean, that came back. That is a current thing in Mario Kart. But this one does not. I think most of the Mario Kart games have coins.
Do they?
If I remember correctly.
Well, it shows how in tune with Mario Kart I am.
Like, there are a number of Mario Kart games I've missed, and it's been a long time since I played a lot of them. But I know for sure they're in 8. Tom Nook Yankees in chat says coins didn't happen again until the Wii games.
Alright.
Oh, no, wait. They meant the 3DS games, so... Okay, yeah, so I guess they were in 7 and 8, and not in...
And not in Double Dash or Super Circuit or DS.
Or Wii, I guess, yeah.
I don't think I'm winning this one. You can see I'm using the jump. I know I don't have like a lot of opportunity to show it here, but the drifting, the jump into a drift, a classic, necessary tech in this game. Yeah. Fuck, there's a little bit of, when you hit speed and you try to do a turn, there's a little bit of like swinging to the sides, right? So you don't immediately start to like, I don't know how to articulate it, but I get why it exists for the lower weight class characters and whatnot. I get what they were going for, but it can sometimes be a little frustrating when you just barely miss an object you're trying to deliberately steer into in a lot of cases.
I mean, that's why I usually go for the midweights in these sort of card games, because I just want a well-rounded character who isn't Mario.
Now, I could complete this circuit. I could complete these two and rank. Should I, or should we just jump into multiplayer?
You want to just jump into multiplayer?
I kind of want to jump into multiplayer. Again, I assume that people have seen this game.
Yes.
Even if they haven't played it, I assume people have at least seen it. But we'd still be remiss to not do a versus. You good with 150?
Yeah. Alright. Have to remember the controls.
A to accelerate, R to jump, B to brake, Z button to use an item, and then the other stuff is like camera controls.
And the next question is, what did you have those buttons mapped to?
What did we have them bound to last time?
Oh, I was using a weird controller last time, so I'll figure it out.
We can do this. We can afford to take a minute to bind this properly. Using a 360 controller right now.
Yes, I am. Yep.
A and B being
that's fine.
I feel like I should probably
let's change those. Change those to what makes sense, and we'll be good.
Yes. Give me a Z.
Z trigger. It's right above our shoulder. Yeah.
And then we don't need thumb buttons, I presume.
And I don't think C stick does anything for us, right?
I mean, it does in terms of like camera control and like weird ancillary controls, but let's also let me go ahead and save a remap file as karting. That way we can just quickly load that for
and hopefully we don't need C buttons for anything.
I'll be Luigi.
Yahoo!
You do have them on the right analog stick. You have the C buttons.
Oh, they're still bound to that? Okay.
Yes.
All right, what do you want to do?
Want to do a Rainbow Road, or do you want to do something more exotic?
Let's do 2 races. Let's do one on something that's not Rainbow Road, and then let's do Rainbow Road.
Yoshi Valley is a weird one.
That is a weird one. You never know what place you're in Yoshi Valley.
Element of surprise. And we also got to do a battle mode.
Yes.
My timing's never on when it comes to the boost at the jump at the front of the race. Yeah, this one has multiple routes through it.
Goodbye. Goodbye. I'm good. Oh.
Luckily, Lakitu comes in and picks you back up. I got 2 stars in a row there, by the way. Oh, it's my time to fall off the track. Got a little too greedy on a drift there. Where did it put me?
Reverse? Lakitu, you put me in that direction.
Did it just drop me off right at the... It probably saved me time. Shit.
God damn it.
These games are full of bullshit, too.
This is a bad first track for me.
Yeah, no, I didn't take it kindly on you. Yeah, the same with that Mario Party is full of bullshit. So too is Mario Kart 64, and it's great when you're on the giving end of it. Fucking sucks to be on the receiving end of it.
Say something nice. I mean, it's a classic. I mean, we started on a bad track to start with, but this is a game that did get it right.
Yeah, there's a reason why this became the template. Why there were so many imitators that we have to cover here in the games to come, in the episodes to come. It is just immediately intuitive in a way that, you know, for as accessible as most racing games do tend to be, outside like the very simulation-heavy ones, that, you know, this is even more so than most. Play dangerously. Drift here. Yep.
Yeah, I knew that was there.
Well, risk didn't pay off for me.
I mean, I've resigned myself to losing this race.
Oh, that's... I'm so sorry. Yeah, let me just put a bunch of bananas on the track just to make things even more obnoxious. Does the race just end when I...
Yeah, I think it's just gonna end.
Mercy rule.
I'm Luigi, #1.
You're Luigi.
No, you're Luigi.
Oh.
You remember?
I said year of Luigi.
Oh, I thought you said you're Luigi.
What track are we doing next?
I mean, we said Rainbow Road and then we go into the battle, so... At least Rainbow Road has walls.
For most of it.
Yeah.
It's Rainbow Road. It's where you go when you die. It's Rainbow Road.
Goodbye.
I'll miss you
I'll
again.
See you again,
Uncle. That video has to have, like, 20 million views, right? And it's definitely not just, like, some 200,000 view video that only you and me remember.
I think it has, like, a surprisingly few number of views for as big of a place in my mind that it lives.
Yeah, mine as well. I'll put a little annotation thing, a little one of those click-throughs in the YouTube upload here. Oh. Johnny Baggett in chat with, it's called The Road, it's called the Rainbow Road. Yes, very good. Roughly 5 million views confirms Video Game King. Okay.
Alright, good. As it should be, I feel.
Oh my god. I'm biffing it with the chomp chomps, chain chomps, the chompers.
Chomp chomp chomp.
Chompers, the ones who bite. I had the feeling you're right behind me.
They're right behind me, aren't they? You know what Mario song with added lyrics I think of, like, constantly, besides that one?
Is there a Brental Floss? Is there some shitty Brental Floss ass cover of?
No, specifically A Grand Day Out, which is the one on the Mario 3 music.
I don't know.
Driving in, I'm speeding, and I'm vigorously masturbating.
That's a new one to me.
I'll show it to you later. Because I can't hear that. That music is in like so many games, and every time I hear that music, I just think of those lyrics.
Now, if I was a real
this is
pro,
going to be the opposite of Fight Night, by the way, where you're going to like win every game.
I'll take
over
it.
me.
What I really need to do is get more first-person shooter segments on the show, so I can just purely stroke my own ego with those.
So the longer I go without having a desk. Why am I veering all of a sudden?
Oh my god, he steered right into me. I thought I was gonna like corner him I was gonna pass him by on the right, but.
No, yep, the same thing happened to me.
Oh no!
Where'd you go? Oh, goodbye.
Hey, Lakitu, can you come? Thank you. Took a sweet time. Yeah, you red shelled me, then it sent me upwards, but I still had forward momentum, so I went over the barricade.
I feel like it takes a lot longer to build up a drift boost in this game than it does in the later ones.
I'm not even necessarily sure if there is like a drift boost.
There is. I'm doing it. The V behind your car changes.
Yeah, I know it changes color.
There it is.
Oh, son of a... You might win this one. You got a healthy lead, you just took my star away from me. You clearly have a better grasp on the... on the drifting mechanic than I do. This is your race to lose. Also, red shells are functionally useless here. I did send a present your way, though. We'll see if it makes it to you.
Oh, that was lucky. Should have been drifting there, but I didn't.
Oh.
Guess I'm a fool. Whoa, that was close.
Blue shell. Oh, god damn it.
Of course I got hit by that.
This is another one of those games where real-life fights with friends, many a one sparked over this game. You know, Smash Bros. Is the one that you could turn items off on to, you know, at least in some way mitigate the quote-unquote bullshit factor of it. But not so in this one. They're so integral to...
Like I said, I loved this game as a kid. I played a lot of Mario Kart DS in college. But in my adult life, I have come to really hate playing Mario Kart. Really because of the items.
At the same time, this game is... Mario Kart, this whole genre of game is really functionally nothing without items. Without...
Yeah. It's not so much the existence of items, it's the distribution and the potentially like devastating effects that these items have in Mario Kart in particular.
That's going to be the toughest thing, I think, for developers attempting to rip off Mario to balance in the games to come. We will see some who have a pretty good grasp of it, who know how to, you know, distribute them more fairly than Nintendo even, and others who just allow them to wreak havoc on the game balance. And others still who opt out entirely by only half-heartedly committing to the items, having them just amount to boosts and precious little else. Trying to get this drift.
Oh, I see the finish line.
Oh. Then I got hit by something at the end, too, just to add insult to injury.
I don't know, but
Congratulations.
from
though.
what? Because I didn't send anything. Thank you. Now, you want to do a battle mode?
I do want to do a battle mode. Because that is the... there was battle mode in the Super NES version, but it was functionally worthless as a game mode to me. I just got absolutely nothing out of playing the battle mode in that game.
Mario.
We have our choices here.
I got no preference, so...
I feel like Block Fort is the classic. I think it's the most interesting. I think Skyscraper is visually, aesthetically nice, but Block Fort is the one that I think is like, this is battle mode to me, is this map. It gives you escape routes, which is an important thing to have in this mode. It's also, like, easy to identify where someone is. To be clear, like, in this game, in these games, screen peeking, part of the game, part of the design of the game.
Yeah.
To look down or look up, as the case
There's
may
also
be.
a mini-map.
Yes. Ow, damn it, I whiffed that. I'll come back with a better weapon in tow. The chase is on.
Uh-oh.
I probably should have activated this a little later, but
I know I'm just in the wrong quadrant. All right. Yeah,
B
I know what
isn't
you're
just
doing.
Reverse. Or you have to hold backwards to reverse while holding down B.
Ah, okay.
Ah! Oh shit. Oh, no. Abort, abort, abort.
Oh, that didn't work at all.
It is also possible to, like, self-damage yourself if you're just reckless and you're
Yes.
driving. Oh, that banana took one off of me.
Took one off of me, too. Ah.
Oh, you should have sheer destruction on that one. All right. Oh, no! I drove directly into an upside-down question mark block. I fell for it.
I put that there at the beginning of the match.
Well
that has
done.
been waiting.
Well played.
Thank you.
That will do it.
I always do that against the computer, even though I know it doesn't work. I know the computer cannot be tricked by that.
But against a
it always
dummy
feels-
like me, but against a fool like Cassidy, it's a perfect trap. That'll do it for Mario Kart 64. You know this game. It was just fun to revisit a little bit. Maybe if folk in the audience have not watched it in a minute or played it in a minute.
For those people, you are obviously not subscribed to Summoning Salt.
Yeah. But we move ever along to the next game, which is... The image is not showing.
Nothing. Thanks for watching, folks.
Can I fix this? Can I salvage this? Why wouldn't this image load? Why would this one? I think I can just manually show the cover to this one in a worst case scenario here. Always gotta have fallback options. Always gotta have. Okay, here we go.
Suspense. Here we are.
Mega Man Battle and Chase. I did not know this game existed until
What's your favorite Mega Man character, Battle or Chase?
I prefer the ampersand symbol, personally. So Mega Man Battle and Chase, the Mega Man Kart Racer, released, let me get the release date on this, March 20th, 1997 in Japan. I have some notes here on it. Series artist and producer Keiji Inafune, before he was a supervillain, claimed that he had, quote, always wanted to bring the unique beat your enemies and take their stuff aspect of Mega Man to a racing kart game, as per 2010's Mega Man Official Complete Works publication, interviewing various people involved with the Mega Man franchise. If I hit next slide, will it show me the next slide here? Oh, that's our avatars. Can I see the ad? No. Okay, I'm just gonna have to manually load that one up too, I guess. So I have something on the screen while I share a couple more interesting notes about this game. Weird. This game is cursed. It's the images I prepared for it, the assets I prepared for it are cursed. Start your engines, says the ad copy. We mentioned its March 20th, 1997 release in Japan, but the game did not pass approval from Sony Computer Entertainment for an individual release in North America due to an, quote, already large presence of mascot-themed racing games in the video game market. This just isn't true. We've been playing the games. This actually would have been the perfect time before all the other imitators of Mario Kart had come out to release this game in around March 20th, 1997, hot off the heels of a Mario Kart 64. So I don't get that excuse. Eventually,
Sony was weird in the PS1 era about when they were like, nah, people don't want this on our consoles.
So
go away.
Ultimately, the game does release in English in April 1998, when Infogrames publishes an English version of the game in European and PAL territories. No NTSC release for this game, as far as I am aware. So, strange circumstance. But that's maybe why I never heard of this game before tonight. But
I've definitely heard tell of this game, but I've never played it or really seen it in motion.
Well, there's a first time for everything. Blah, 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 blah. Please don't steal.
European.
Classic Capcom logo. See if I can dial in the volume.
I get, like, PTSD from that piracy screen because I really associate with Midas games.
Well, little do you know, this game, Mega Man, brought to you by Midas. Keiji Inafune entered into arrangement with now. Cinematic intro.
Yeah, I didn't have a car, so I brought my dog.
I hope that's all right.
Yo, I did too. Don't worry about it.
I do have another note here for when we get to the character select screen. I'm hoping that I couldn't get a save file for this just to unlock everyone and everything at the top, so I'm sure we're missing some courses, some racers.
By the way, Video Game King says that this game is unlockable in the Mega Man X collection that was on the PS2 era consoles.
Well, that's good. I feel like this is just going to be a race. I'm going to skip that. All right, Grand Prix, Time Attack, Versus Mode, all your standard options. I just want to peep the controls real quick. Simple. Intuitive.
Aunt.
Special ability R1. Bear that one in mind.
Gotcha.
I'm going to go into Grand Prix mode just so I can hopefully race against some other characters, rather than just doing the time attack and feeling lonely on the track. Alright, Mega Man and his Push Roadstar, roll in the poppin' beat. Shadow Man, the Shinobi Master. Are you detecting a theme here? Gutsman, Wild Arms.
Oh, the RPG.
So, I have a note here. The concept art for Gutsman and his Wild Arms Racer was redone for the overseas version due to the original piece containing the character performing an offensive gesture.
Oh, does he do the thing where, like, you hold one arm horizontally and you bring the other arm up?
Must be, or like a middle finger or something. Proto Man and the Red Striker, Iceman and the Cool Mobile, Napalm Man and the Patriot Bomber, Spring Man and the Surprise Boxer.
I
Bass.
didn't know that Napalm Man was, like, a proud American, but alright. Sure.
The Treble Dark Star, Quick Man and the Sonic Formula. Well, you gotta be Quick Man, he's the fastest, right?
Hit square on anybody.
For beginners. Uses ninja moves.
All right, well, that's good to know that, you know, what their things are. It's their special moves.
I just want to play his role. His role's neat. And she's got a neat car. Relatively highly detailed character model behind. And then the car, too, is relatively... As simple as it is, you know, there's still a lot of polygon work in this, more so than in some other kart games. That would streamline, especially, that would really simplify the character model to save on frames. Handball Gang says, did you say relatively? I might have roll on the mind.
I'm going to assume that this came out before Mega Man Legends. Legends was also a 97 game, but it was like December of 97.
Let's race into the sunset. I see that there's a customization element to this, the tuning the car.
Yes, did I see there's a parts menu?
I'm just going into
How's
this
my
with
volume,
the
by the way?
Oh, you're fine. I'm always balancing on it, balancing it behind the scenes, doing what I can to tweak.
I'm having to lean back in this chair today because of the back thing.
Interesting presentation of the screen. I did not get a head start.
Well, you may be in last place, but I think it's time to taunt.
Oh, that's my attack. Oh. Ooh, this does, not control great. I'm gonna say...
But you are going at 488 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, I don't believe that. I don't know how true that is. It certainly doesn't feel it to play it.
They're actually just all really huge.
Yeah.
The speed is like, you know, relative. The ground level.
Oh, I thought it was like an F-Zero like charging pad for restoring health or something. Not the case.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what things are things to pick up. Like, are the Metars, do they slow you down when you run into them? Are the orange cones like your items to pick up?
Who's to say? I'm trying to press R1 and nothing's... Oh, there we go. Now R1 works when I'm out of range.
That's not an item.
Yeah, maybe Sony delayed the release of this because it's not good.
Okay, now you got
so traffic cones are items.
Okay.
Of course they are.
And you have 10 mystery items.
I'm pressing the use item button and absolutely nothing is happening.
So, R1 for you, is that your jump?
Yes.
Well, you have that spin, and then you had, like, that little flutter thing that you were doing, too. Oh, is that when you don't have energy to do a spin attack?
Must be. The number is also
I can see your energy bar.
Yeah, this is just immediately off the heels of a Mario Kart. Which, you know, like, for as many qualms as I can come up with for it, this is just immediately, like, several steps down.
Okay, I feel like maybe this would make more sense if we had a manual, but to Mario Kart's credit, we did not need a manual.
No, you can pick that game up within 10 minutes of picking it up for the first time, which is an ethos of their design.
Like, I mean, I went in with the knowledge of the whole drift thing, but other than that game presents itself fairly clearly. So those aren't items.
No, I think Taco said you have to hit 10 of them to qualify to get an item, which fucking stupid. What a dumb way. Great, now I have this thing, which I used. I don't know what it did. I don't know what it accomplished. But now I need to hit 10 more cones again if I want to have an item.
So the Metars don't count or do count? Hit one. They count.
I guess you are just encouraged to hit as many things as possible.
I'm also calling them Metars. I think they may also be called, or instead are called Met Tools. I'm not sure. I always call them Metars.
Whatever Miss Tronbon calls them, that's the only word of law I accept.
Are there any Commentator's in the Legends universe?
I don't know.
I don't remember that seeing them.
I just remember there was ZanyVGQuotes.com, which was like the go-to site for getting like sampled voice lines, like all like the voice lines in Resident Evil, if you needed access to those, if you needed those for whatever purposes. And the meta tag for the site, the meta description of the site was sniffing Miss Tronbon's panties since 1997 or whatever year the site was. Old internet, folks.
I'm surprised that's not the tagline for X now.
Yeah, this is bad. I know I've said that before, but it's just astonishing how far off the mark this is, just in terms of like pure game feel, and then their attempt to differentiate its mechanics for the sake of differentiating its mechanics, being like, oh, now you got to pick up 10 things to qualify for an item, is just such an unnecessary.
Yeah,
doesn't add anything. In fact, it makes the game actively worse.
I mean, I know I don't like items, but this is kind of a bad way to do it.
I got a ×3 at the end.
You won 3 races all at once.
Leave the competition in my dust. You gotta get in on this. You gotta...
Absolutely. Oh, you can choose what part from Pro Man you want.
It is a sharp
tires.
I'll take a high-speed wing. A famous game once said, I wish you a good luck.
We need to incorporate that catchphrase into our stream somehow.
Paul S. says that they sent in those Resident Evil.wave files, the Zany VG quotes. Ragu's still around, just getting old like the rest of us. Good for them. I'm glad there's another old head in the chat. I'm glad there's another person who knows what the fuck I'm talking about when I throw these oddball references out. Tell them I said hi. Not that they would know me or anything, but, you know. Yeah, let's go right into versus mode on this, because you need to...
Alright. We good? Oh.
My bad. Because of I guess you were trying with the Ayrton Senna thing to... But this'll work. Okay.
Oh, we don't get info. Wait, no, we don't get info on this one.
Who are you leaning towards?
I think base.
All right, I'll go with Quick Man because he's the fastest. He's the quickest.
Hey, chat. Is it bass or bass? Please write your answers without using phonetical spelling. Just say BASS.
So here's our tracks. I think we were racing in the Sunset before, or was it the city?
Yes, Sunset.
Want to try the Toy Factory?
How do I even exist? It's definitely bass. Okay. All right, people are telling me it's basses in the music term, which is what I assumed it should have been.
Yes, because his counterpart is treble.
Right, and rock and roll. I feel like there are people who will like look at a very obvious thing. It's like, no, it's supposed to be this, and still say like, no, it's the other thing.
This is neat. You can choose what distribution of other opponents on the track. Let's do one of each. One Rotor, one Joe, one Yellow Devil. Now loading.
I feel like I've heard a lot of people say bass, and I've always thought that sounds wrong. that sounds wrong for very logical reasons.
They're familiar with Big Mouse Billy Bass. That's their point of reference.
Oh, I just get a gun.
Oh, I get a boost. Just a built-in boost. I assume. I should probably keep a closer eye on my speed meter, see if it goes up when I... Yeah, it gives me another 40 kilometers per hour for a second or two. It's neat that every character comes with their own shit. That's an idea. You see what I mean about how this controls?
It's hard to parse, and I don't understand what we're racing on right now. I don't know if this is a thing. It looks like sometimes it's a boost.
And sometimes it's slippery, sometimes it's like ice.
Aiming isn't great with my weapon here. All right, I got an item. What'd I get? It's still spinning that roulette. All right, I don't know what that is.
I got what looked like a screw.
Oh, now it's slow down.
Whatever hit me, I'm still short-circuiting here.
Base is just crying while I'm on here. Oh, okay. I see how this works. I see the gimmick of this map in every detail now.
If the buttons shift what kind of floor it is. Yeah.
Yes. I feel like there's too much floor considering one of the possible shifts is just everyone gets fucked over.
Considering that some of them, the buttons are mandatory, that no matter what you do, you have to ride over them, because there's some narrow passageways that are headed by a red button.
I feel like in split screen in particular, this is very hard to parse the track in front of me. Like, just the quality of...
The render, yeah.
The render, thank you.
Operating at half resolution, yeah. A little far from ideal, to say the least. I'm doing well enough. I haven't had to deal with any opponents at any point. And I attribute that partially to having a built-in boost on my character. In a game where useful items are apparently a very limited, very rare quantity, having a boost built into your character where you get an extra 100 kilometers per hour out of it, seems like a bit of a cheat.
Yeah. Considering you can just do that. See, I thought about picking Quick Man, but then I was like, you know what? They probably balanced Quick Man with him being, like, really hard to handle or control.
No harder than
like,
a roll a few minutes ago. But then again, I think this game just controls like ass at its core. The only assumption I can make here is this game is just, like, bad to play.
I don't think this controls awful in the grand scheme of a lot of these hard racing games we've played. But a lot of the design around it is not good.
Like, it's aesthetically pleasing, I'll give it that. I like the look, I like the variety, I like how it is uniquely Mega Man. It's just a shame it's in service of what is, I think, is fairly rancid gameplay. I think these controls are well below par.
I'll say the controls aren't up to the standard of what I would want in a kart racing game. I don't think the controls are terrible, but I think a lot of the design decisions here, like the items, like the use of abilities and how lopsided their usefulness is, like, I think track design as well, it's bad. I mean, I have to compare this, though, to, like, we played Atari carts, we played Scunny Kart.
Sure.
Like, we've played way worse, but this isn't good.
I think you need to hit start or circle or something, because I'm pressing every button.
Oh, I need to? Okay.
Do we dare with one more course and change a character, or...?
Sure, let's try one more course. Now,
change
wait.
characters, too.
Okay, I was trying to think, which one is the further back option?
Maybe I'll find a character who controls better. I'll play Gutsman in the Wild Arms.
Alright, I'll play... Yeah, I'm gonna regret this. I'll play Springman. There's no way Springman is good.
I bet his ability is that he jumps. I bet he springs up into the air. Street racing. By the way, Charky.
Yeah.
I think we're going long tonight.
Alright.
I'm just looking, and I had 12 games. I wanted to get through 13, actually. I'm so sorry.
Definitely gonna have to let me go to the restroom soon. But other than
Yes.
that, all right. No, I do this. This is my R1.
I throw a
And I
fucking
don't
rock.
understand.
I summon a boulder from the sky. The boulder gods bequeath me a rock that I can just toss in front of me.
Oh, I think I understand what I can do now.
Bring up that.
Bad. This guy works on a bad system, but
Oh my god, I basically have like an endless supply of rock. Look at this. Look at my screen. I can just keep doing
Yeah.
this. If anyone's ahead of me, they're
Yeah,
just
but
fucked.
I mean, those smaller ones are weaker, I guess.
I'm still making you spin out. I'm still like hitting you and like arresting control from you. And if I let my meter fully charge, I can do that. Whatever that might be. Let me just prime a rock here.
This is hard to aim. And now I'm out of juice, apparently. I would like to... I'm gonna take my focus away from racing to describe how bad my ability is.
I got hit with
All right,
lightning.
so my ability is to do that, right? I can hit you.
Yep.
But when I'm not in full charge mode, so I'll use it. Now, if I'm not in full charge, I change my position. So, like, okay. So if I want to change, like, I want to hit someone in front of me instead of to the side, I can do that. But regardless of how much charge I have, if I'm not all the way full, it uses all charge to change my position.
Not ideal.
So there's no reason to change your position in, like, anticipation of hitting someone else, because that you just don't have charge anymore if you change position.
This seems so ill-conceived. It's born from an idea that makes sense. As far as mascots to give a kart racer game, I can understand the impetus behind Mega Man being one of those.
I mean, that thing in the GP mode where you take parts from other cars, could be interesting. It'd be nice if that was an aesthetic change that happened too. I don't know if it was because we quit after one race.
It might be. It might very well be.
Bring up that.
Son of a bitch. There we go. Doesn't that suck? Doesn't that
Yeah, it
suck to
does.
be on the receiving end of?
Like you were talking about, games that didn't get the items right. This is technically not an item, but it is a forever thing you can do. I'm stuck on that wall. Yeah, and that's your not fully charged special too.
Yeah, the
isn't
fully
it?
charged one I stopped to the sides. You were so close. You were so close to being able to finish the race. Awful.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
That was...
That's one that I feel like, in its most basic mechanic, the driving, it's not even close to being one of the worst ones you play. But in its design, it's awful.
And I didn't even know about it until earlier today. Look at that Resident Evil logo on the on the side there. That's the best part about this game, maybe. That will do it for Mega Man Battle and Chase. Avoid.
All right, I'm gonna try and stand up and not like throw out my back again. So why don't
I
you
wish you
introduce
luck.
and
I'm
get
gonna-
started on the next game?
Yes, I will do that.
Like- Don't wait up for me.
I know. All right, our next game, assuming the slide loads, please load. No. I'm gonna have to manually load each of these slides for the rest of the show, or can I just force this to cooperate with me? Slide number 7. There we go. This is Street Racer for the PlayStation. And here's where I gotta admit, we didn't cover every kart racing game in the first episode that was contemporary to Super Mario Kart. In fact, we missed quite a few, like Power Rangers Battle Zeo, or whatever it was called, which I think we played in our Power Rangers No Power Rangers theme night. But one of the chief ones we missed were the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis versions of a game by the name of Street Racer. Street Racer initial release, Super NES, November 1994, comes to the Sega Mega Drive in 1995, and this game that we were playing on PlayStation with its 1997 release will later come to the Sega Saturn, to the Amiga, and to Windows in the years to follow. So it was not originally an Amiga racer. There's also a Game Boy version too, which I think we will get to in a later episode in the way I have it structured. Okay, so the point is, this was developed by a studio by the name of Vivid Image, published by Ubisoft, and they brought this to everything that they could. Super NES version was rooted in the Mode 7 you would expect for the Super NES. The Mega Drive version was more like a classic style of like scalar-based racer because it didn't have that Mode 7 capability. And so to see it on the PlayStation, you'd want to call these conversions, but these really are just completely different games that all share the same branding. It's the same characters, I presume. Maybe the same like aesthetics on the tracks, but each of them have different game modes. Each of them have different like features, different perspectives on the racing. So it really is kind of wild how ostensibly the same game can be so different from platform to platform. So we're just going to show this PlayStation version, and Vivid Image will come up again later tonight, as a matter of fact, for another racing game franchise. I also need to show this advert for the PlayStation and Saturn versions of Street Racer, where the game claims to bring out the yob in you. It's British slang, folks. So mad, it'll drive you round the bend. We'll see. We'll hold that claim to scrutiny. We'll see how true that rings. All right, gonna get this loaded up. I'll do some single-player racing for the time being. Back when Ubisoft was 2 words. That really dates this. To 1997. Animated intro. Production value behind it. They had cartoon money. This poor rabbit. What kind of asshole would... well... Is the rabbit even a racer in this game? Can you play as the rabbit? Can I exact revenge for them? 1996 copyright on this. 8 players. This would obviously be facilitated by way of system linking, since multi-tap would not get you more than 4 players at a time. No more than 2 players at a time with this game and its rendering techniques. We have 2 game modes. We have normal... We have Micro. I think the Super NES version had normal racing, and then it had a soccer mode in it. Johnny Baggett saying, no cast, not system link. This is 8 players on one system. I don't think that's true.
I also don't think that's true in the research I did for this. I'll look it up myself while you start the single-player race. But yeah. I think that this had 8 player system. Well, before I say it, let me look it up.
Driving mode, expert or novice? I'll go with novice, I guess. Split screen, box or wide? To unlock the rabbit, use Dougal as a password. Okay, I could do that. Well, oh, I see how this works. I have to go here. No, I don't know how to... Huh?
Well, okay, actually, I looked it up. Okay. It says, on Wikipedia, one of the main selling points of the PlayStation Saturn versions was that they supported up to 8 players on a split screen, something that would have ordinarily cause slowdowns to the point of unplayability on contemporary gaming hardware. Yes,
Okay. So I guess I was wrong on that assessment. Here's the controls. This menu is uncontrollable. I would love to type in a password, but I've tried... Oh, it's the R buttons. Of course it's the R buttons to type in to change the letters displayed here, because every other button does some completely different function. So I already have issues with this interface. There we go. Just immediately.
How do you do 8 players with a multi-tap? Do you need to plug a multi-tap into a multi-tap?
Must be. Number of laps.
I never had a multi-tap, so I don't know how those things work, to be honest.
I'm going to turn the number of laps down to 8.
I guess there are 2 ports on a PlayStation. So if you had 2 multi-taps, one plugged into each, I guess that would work. I don't know.
Let's just do the Bronze Cup, why don't we?
Oh, we're 2-player-ing. Okay.
Are we?
I guess, because I'm here.
I didn't intend to. I was going to give you...
Go...
Oh, yeah.
There you are.
Whoopsies. Yeah, Bronze. None of these characters have names here, so we're going to have to come up with our own. I'll call him...
Prospector Sam.
Sure. Frankenstein's monster. Obvious. Not touching that with the 10-foot pole.
Yeah. Okay.
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel, yeah.
Tom Cruise.
Right.
Pamela Anderson. The Red Baron. Yeah. Yep. Yokozuna. And Dougal, I guess, because that was the name that we had to put in the password screen.
All right, he has shitty handling, but his speed is great. Bognier says, I like how everyone is drawn similarly, except for the guy on the left.
Okay.
So you have left and right attacks.
Camera.
Also, 60 frames per second.
Camera. You can go all the way up here.
Like, I'll be honest, a disconcertingly smooth 60 frames per second.
Yeah. That's because, you know, the roots of this game is like a Mode 7 SNES game. Yeah. At least this has, like, terrain. This has, like...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you say the roots are in Mode 7, but this is a proper 3D place we're in.
Yes. Oh, I picked up a bomb, which puts a timer on me.
Maybe it's just because I'm so used to... Yeah, picking up more bombs will extend the timer back to 20 seconds. Maybe just so used to other kart racer games that are not at 60 frames per second that we're seeing this one. I'm like, oh, that's...
Impressive.
Way too... Well, I was going to say frightening.
I think I'm going to blow up.
Yeah.
I could have sworn I set this to 5 laps. It's a short course, but I just feel like this game doesn't respect your choices in the options menu.
I also have to ask why you keep picking up the bomb.
Because it's just in the way. Lyrics. I know to jump over that. I think the interface in this game is fucking terrible. Just that menu and not knowing whether changes I'm making are actually affecting anything or not. You gotta get that shit down. You gotta get your UX, like... Cool.
All right, you didn't want to go on to the next level?
No, I want to try micro mode. Then I want to try to... it said 5 laps. So I don't know why I didn't respect that. Isometric or flat? Let's go isometric.
Isometric.
Yeah, let's see what this micro mode is all about, right? You know, I'm sure that's spurring some amount of curiosity among folk. We'll try a different track. We'll try silver. I'll try a different racer too. Dear God. Oh, no.
Oh, jeez.
In case you're a real Micro Machines mark.
You ever play a racing game and you were thinking, like, I just wish I was playing the mini-map instead?
can't change the camera any, so I wonder if flat mode is just straight up like a top-down view.
It must be, right? But this is more nauseating, so I like it.
It's interesting. It's an idea. It's not a good idea, but it is an idea.
Noticing the aggressive pop-in.
Yeah, almost as if the game was not meant to be rendered in this way. As if there are actual drawbacks to this perspective. It's so strange to try and control a racing game this way, where it's just left and right, basically.
You were never into those, like, Micro Machine
No,
racing
I hated them.
games?
I outright hated them. In the same way that I am not loving this. This must be someone's preferred way to play. Assuming anyone actually preferred playing this game opposed to any other video game on the market.
And they kept making them.
They kept... correction, they kept making this same game for different consoles.
Yeah, that's what I said. They kept making them. I can't figure out what the number under your place is. You're in 5th place, but 70, 80, 70.
Is that a measure of speed somehow? No.
90.
9 plus.
9 plus 0. I really don't understand what that is supposed to be.
Oh god, that race could not end quick enough.
10 laps, which is definitely not what you said.
Credits. Guess what? You're joining me, but I'm making it normal.
Alright.
Now we could do the championship. We're going to do a straight up head-to-head. Let's do a straight up head-to-head.
Yes.
Pick your poison. I'll be Vin Diesel. I'll be Dominic Toretto.
Yeehaw!
So every racer has their own designated courses. Let's see what the Red Baron has up his sleeve.
I don't know the controls.
X is accelerate. Square, I think, is brake. Oh my god, our character is falling out of frame.
What do you mean it's falling out of frame?
I mean, look at my screen right now.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Here, I'll change the camera. Maybe this will help me. It's not letting me do the full-on, like, top-down view that I had available to me in single player. That was probably a little bit too difficult to manage. Circle is
How
a
are you
boost.
boosting?
Circle.
Do you know what dictates the boost? Is there a
I think the rockets,
item?
as you pick up the rockets.
Okay, wait, I see. I see now.
Up
That
is
meter.
jump, by the way, in case there are obstacles you need to jump over, which there are not on this course. I hate the way this controls, too. It's not as bad as Mega Man, believe it or not.
I honestly feel like this is worse than Mega Man. 'Cause I'm braking, and I feel like I'm not actually braking.
That's true enough. But if you hold down square, you can feel it come to a complete stop. I think you need to also let go of accelerate when you brake if you're attacking the corners.
You know, now that I've actually played this course and on the same thing as you, I still don't know why you keep running into those bombs. It feels deliberate.
It really isn't. It's just rumble mode.
Sure.
I'm assuming this is their take on a battle mode.
Did her... I mean, I'll be the bunny.
No choice of arena, just the one battle map. Why would I grab the dynamite?
I bet the idea is... How do you reverse it? Here we go. There.
Oh, I get it. Also, notice how slow the movement is here.
Yeah. Wait, I know the strategy.
Last second hot potato it, yeah.
Yeah.
This is what Death Race 2000 is like, as I'm to understand it. I think I figured out how the secret to this. Oh, well played.
I mean, this is a bad mode because this is how you do. I mean, okay, with 8 players, I could see this being like more interesting. When it's 2 players, you know what it is? In Mario Party, when you have like the bumper balls and it's down to like 2 people and it's just always a draw. This is like that, but whoever touched someone last loses or wins, whichever way it works here.
So how many hit points do we have? When does this end? The clock is only ticking up.
Yeah. Ah. Whoa.
Oh, I see. I have to
got
knock
rumbled.
you out of the ring.
Then I would just stay in the center of the ring at all times. Bad.
Not good.
Not good mode. Oh, you really want to do that? Okay.
Yep. We gotta know, right?
Yeah.
I gotta know. So every racer has 3 variants on their track.
Let's do him. Let's do Frank.
Yeah, let's go to Frankenstein's hovel. I don't know which one is selected here. I'm assuming it's the one on the far left.
Yes, I believe so.
This one has a lot of blank space in it. So I assume this one's going to be the most miserable to play. Oh, boy. I don't know how much of this I'm going to be able to tolerate, actually, looking at it now.
Oh.
Oh, so the objects are popping up in front of us because the wonderful view distance. Oh. Huh. Which way are we? I
feel like we did this wrong.
This is heinous.
This way?
So when one of us lags too far behind, you just get dragged out in front.
Yeah. I mean, that means I figure out the strategy, right?
Oh yeah, I can't go too wrong, right? What was that TurboGrafx 16 PC Engine racing game we played? Moto Rotor?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Where everyone's on screen all at once.
So I'm hands off on controller now.
That's the way to play this game.
Yeah, because I just need to wait until we get to the final lap, and then I play.
There has to be some sort of penalty that you're paying. Huh? Why'd the camera stick with you for that?
I don't know. Come on. Oh, well, it doesn't matter because I'm here now. I won the race despite being hands-off controller for almost all of it.
I can't believe that worked. I let you have it at the end because I'm just like, clearly they're gonna like punish you in some sort of way for not. But no, they just let you win. Oh my god, dire. That was Street
This is
Racer.
gonna be an interesting rating segment at the end of the night.
No kidding. That was Street Racer. That was by Vivid Image, and painting a vivid image in my head right now. By the way, this game released October 31st, 1997. Happy Halloween! I need a palate cleanse after that. I need a proper palate cleanse. And I don't know if we're going to get one. Because the next game on our itinerary is Diddy Kong Racing, a wild racing adventure. Have a couple notes on this one as well. Truly one for only for N64 here. During initial development, the game was originally influenced by Walt Disney World and soon evolved into an adventure game called Wild Cartoon Kingdom, with which Nintendo had no involvement. I should mention that in case it wasn't obvious, this game was developed by Rare, in case that needed to be said. Should also mention that it was released November 21st, 1997. Let me also see an advert for this. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Let's read some of the notes on this. Banana residue at the top, elephant tusk impact, tire mark, third-degree lava burn, palm tree abrasion, etc., etc., etc. It's a race. It's an adventure. It's a severe head injury. I don't want to play this. I don't want to get hurt. I want, like, a CTE from fucking playing a racing game. So, during development, they pivoted a couple times from that original Wild Cartoon Kingdom concept. In June 1997, it was being developed under the operative title Pro-Am 64, an unrelated follow-up to the NES racing game RC Pro-Am. So they demoed that to Shigeru Miyamoto, who felt that Pro-Am 64 did not have a strong enough intellectual property and IP to capture the attention of consumers and suggested rebranding the game around a widely recognized Nintendo character, and thus Rare changed the license to feature Diddy Kong. According to Lee Musgrave, developer on the game, the decision to choose Diddy Kong rather than Donkey Kong was based on their own choice internally at Rare, a decision which Nintendo, quote, enjoyed, which is to say they signed on to the concept, approved of it, bringing us the Diddy Kong racing game we have today. And we're gonna play it.
This is one a lot of people like. And as a kid, I liked this too, but I was way worse at this than Mario Kart. This is a hard game, especially if you're trying to go through single player.
Through the adventure mode, as it is.
Yeah.
I know there's plenty of stuff to unlock in this game. We're playing with a fresh save that has none of that.
Well, that means you're playing with an unskippable, like, over a minute long intro movie if you want to go into an adventure.
Very cool. Let's see our cast of characters. Timber! Bumper! There he is. It's Conker. His video game
Screaming
debut.
curse words everywhere. Tip-top. Mother Clucker. Ipsy.
That's a cute name for a mouse.
Yeah.
No idea who this guy is.
Crunch.
R.I.P. You got hit with a plane propeller. You don't walk away from that.
YouTube has recommended Whizpig. YouTube has recommended me several videos lately. Several. About how Crunch is the worst character in this game.
Diddy Kong Racing.
I take that as a
It's
challenge.
a weird thing for the algorithm to continuously push on me, but
Subtitles on. That's weird to see in an N64 game, to say the least.
dialogue.
Diddy Kong Racing.
Alright. I'll play as Pip. Pipsy, sorry.
Oh, I would love to hear their voice stuff, but maybe later.
Do I have to jump into adventure? Can I just do tracks?
Here's how many... Well...
Alright, let's not even waste time here. Let's see if I can just find a cheat file for this that unlocks everything. If not, this is going to be a potentially even shorter look at this game than I was.
I think you should at least take a brief look at adventure mode. That's a major thing in this game. This is like the differentiator from this game and every other kart racing game except for Crash Team Racing.
Okay, I have Rev A. I'm assuming that's version 1.1. Please say yes. Please work. Have all trophies, have all keys, amulets. I just wanted to...
Get.
Oh,
I bet like unlocking them means having the stages marked as complete.
oh, and I crashed the game. Which
Nope,
means I
maybe
adjusted
it's
the
not
wrong
that
cheat
one.
file. Yeah.
You said it was Rev 1, and there was a thing that said Rev 1. And you
No, I
didn't
said
select
Rev
that
A.
one. Rev A, I'm sorry.
There was not one labeled Rev A. There was one labeled Rev 1. So
Maybe Rev A is Rev 1.
this is why I love ROM nomenclature and how completely inconsistent it is depending on the source where you acquire your games.
Yeah, how about arcade games? How about
Yeah,
arcade
the best.
games? Trying to find any arcade game that runs on MAME.
Let us try Rev 1. Okay. Different cheats, completely different list of cheats here. Just give me unlock everything. I'm assuming these unlock these courses.
Let's assume.
Darkwater Beach. Player 1, Player 2. I
no longer know what these are.
Jesus wept. Yeah, I whatever we have, if I hit apply here, hopefully it just works. If not, we just have to...
New adventure mode.
Immediate crash.
All right. Put me in, coach. I'll play some adventure mode.
Yeah, I wonder if you can just control it. Can you just control it? There's no, like,
Doesn't seem like
button cheats. There's nothing you can just punch in to make this do as you please. Johnny Baggett asking, would finding a battery save be quicker? No, it would not, because converting N64 save files for use in emulators is fucking impossible. I've banged my head against these things many times over the years.
Okay, well, I guess I can just jump into.
Thank God.
I'll be...
Yeah, depending on what emulator you're using, what version of the game, etc., whether there's even saves available on a game FAQs or what have you, what format they're in, what format of save your emulator uses, and so many of the save files are not compatible with parallel N64, which is what I prefer to use. Just pick a character already.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
My name's Bumper. Whoa.
There we go. I know.
Bad. Yeah, if I could, I would just download saves. I did for most of the PS1 games, just to have everything unlocked. Ones that didn't just have, like, button codes in, but, N64 emulation, still a long way from anywhere near acceptable.
Did they ever I'm not asking you, I'm asking the chat. Did they ever bring WizPig back for literally anything else?
Diddy Kong Racing on the DS.
Okay.
I know I plan to go long tonight, Sharky, but we are not even halfway through the games I had slated for tonight. We're nearly 2 hours in. So I think this series is going to be even longer than originally intended. Watch that frame rate plummet.
I am the genie of the island.
Oh, God.
To help you. Good luck.
Alright, so you need balloons to go into courses. I think I know where a few are. Let me talk to him.
Do you have to?
Yes, but let me... What button is horn?
Oh, you know what? Something we should do?
What?
Try this on for size.
There we go.
Hello, friend.
Yes, give me the plane, please.
Can I help you further? Bye-bye for now.
A product of its era.
Alright, so I think I need to go here. By the way, the frame rate in this game is not good. But you can actually improve the frame rate by turning the sound effects and music off.
Great.
It's because when you turn it all the way down to 0, it doesn't mute it. It completely stops processing audio. So that improves the frame rate.
Cool tip.
I swear there's a couple of... Not that way.
You're just hoping there's a few on the mainland in the hub world that you can collect?
Yeah, I know there are, and I know they're, like, out here somewhere. Like, in the...
Personally, I think it's awesome you have to go through a bunch of fucking bullshit before you can just, like, get into multiplayer matches with your friends. It's awesome you have to qualify for content in these games.
Aha. There's one.
You know, God forbid you get this game, you know, like, as a gift, as a present on, like, Christmas Day, and you're just like, oh, cool, I can't wait to jump into this game with friends. Oh, we only have one track if I want to play with family members. Oh, I need to go through this adventure mode in single player to unlock, like, really any content in this game. Cool.
I mean, it's a rare game. Like, they managed to make a racing game into a collectathon. Okay, so now that I have those two things, I'm not just limited to going to the first place. I can ask to go to the snow place, too. So let's just do 2 races. How about that? One here and then one in the snow place.
Sure. And you get balloons for completing the races, I assume, as rewards?
I don't remember. Possibly. All right. Let's go to the default level. Ancient Lake.
Ancient Lake.
I mean, I have to remember how to play this game. I know that the gimmick with the power-ups in this is that each balloon color is a different type of power-up, and you can power up that power-up by clicking the same balloon multiple times. So this is a level 1 attack, and now I have a level 2 attack.
I know
think
a
I can
game
get
we'll
one more
play
level.
later does a similar thing with powering up the power-ups. Magic Meow in chat says, I get where you're coming from, Cass, but also the adventure mode was this game's thing. Yeah, it's great for the adventure mode. That shouldn't restrict you from having content in the multiplayer mode if you just want to jump into, like, the basics, the fundamental, like, just like having, like, courses available to you.
I think we might have had at least the first... I mean, it's not good enough, but we might have had, like, the first course of any... of the main 4 worlds. 'Cause it looked like... when you were scrolling through it, it seemed like every other thing was not unlocked, which is still not good.
Johnny Baghead points out, that's partly a Nintendo problem in general. Smash Bros. Ultimate still force you to unlock all the characters.
Oh, yeah. Like, Smash Bros. Ultimate, yeah, starts with 8 characters unlocked. There's like 70. Can't skip this.
Better get balloons.
Have you ever
for
played this game, Cass?
I own this, and I barely put any time into it because I decided I didn't like it. I determined I would just stick with my Mario Kart 64 if I ever had the itch to do racing.
I could tell. I know you wouldn't like this because of the amount of stuff you have to do in this game. The amount of times you have to go back to old races, do these extra challenges, beat bosses over again. How do I barrel roll?
Is that a thing you can do?
I'm pretty sure you can barrel roll. Oh, I found that. C buttons?
So
No.
it's like a different cup available in here because of the balloons you got?
So yeah, there's the... So since I got 2 balloons, I can go check out this area.
Theoretically, like, we should have all these courses available without having to race them first in adventure mode, right? You would just assume that, like, because you qualify for Walrus Cove and Everfrost Peak here, these should be available when we go to multiplayer for this, right? Because you have the 3 balloons.
We could double check that, but let's do a race first.
Oh, let's go.
I was hoping this was going to be a race that wasn't on a cart. Because the other big gimmick of this game being that you have the hoverboard, not hoverboard, the hoverboat and the plane as well. And there are races that, you know, require one vehicle, and there are some races where you can bring in, like, whatever vehicle you want. With the plane being the best vehicle because it's a plane. I don't mean in terms of stats. I just mean it's cooler to fly a plane.
Sure. Where we're going, we don't need roads, etc. Are you gonna be able to win this one?
I mean, we got laps 1 of 3. I have time.
I guess my question is, how fair or unfair is the...
Well, this game gets tough. I know that much for sure, but it's been a long time since I've played it. I know WizPig, when you get to the WizPig races, he's not fucking fair. When you get to some of the later stuff, like against TT, like, he can be kind of unfair. But yeah, like, later game is much more difficult here. Getting the feeling I might not win this one.
This is at least, like, control okay in kart mode? Doesn't look it.
I don't have a great grasp on it right now. There might be mechanics I don't know about, but it doesn't feel... This is far from, like, the worst I've played tonight. Like, this is not... I don't think this is Mario Kart level of good controls, but this is better than Mega Man. It's better than Street Racer. Like, this is one that I did play quite a bit as a kid. I never got very far in it because this is one of those things where I had to keep renting it. So I was stuck with whatever save file was on the Blockbuster one.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're a kid in the 90s, right? And you're renting a game from Blockbuster, do not erase the save that's on there. Don't ruin it for everybody.
Yeah, pass it on. Mr. Taco says, don't forget to let go of the gas button before you run to a speed booster to have it last longer.
Didn't know that. Again, it would be a thing where I think the instruction manual would probably have helped me there.
I'm assuming you get no balloon for this, for performance.
Do you think
here.
that the elephant's going to come by on that unskippable cutscene and going to go, ho ho, here's a balloon. I'm taking it with me. Goodbye.
Better luck next time.
I'm going to frame that loss on the wall. Wait.
Yeah, let's
game.
jump in the multiplayer.
Yeah. See what we have unlocked.
Diddy Kart Racing!
No, wait, that's not it.
No. By the way, there's no magic
right, I
code
have
just
to
to unlock content. The magic codes, the cheats are all just like...
Okay, so... I'll stick with him. Alright, so... Dino Domain, Ancient Lake. No. We have... No. Sherbert Island. Oh, wait, that one's unlocked. I think. Wait, if I... Okay, so question mark means not unlocked. So we do have Walrus Cove. So I played Walrus Cove, so that means it's unlocked. So I didn't win it, but I played it.
Okay, at least that's something.
Still a bad... Yeah.
Also
Still
a
not
bad
great
menu,
system.
where you can only see one thing at a time here.
Let me see. Dragon Force.
I'll leave it to your
I'm trying to see if
discretion.
there's... This one would be a hoverboat race.
Change of pace. Let's do a hoverboat race. Let's see what it looks like.
Yeah. You want to do Whale Bay or the other one?
Let's do Whale Bay.
Okay.
Whale Bay.
Player
Okay.
one, yeah. If we want other people on the track with us.
I like having other people on the track.
Yeah, that way we can both lose.
Ooh.
Oh, I forgot which one I was. I was looking in the wrong place.
Good frames. Bad control. I think I already got turned around.
Yeah, you're now going the wrong way. I can't believe
I wonder if
missed
it's
that.
even possible to catch up from here. I would just as soon reset if I was like playing this like single player, but in the spirit of fair play.
I really want it. God damn you, Conquer. Okay. Please let me get that one. I just want to see what it is.
I feel like the oversteer on this when you go left or right is fucking brutal. It's worse than it ever was in Mario Kart.
So, we are playing on the hoverboats. Everything controls differently. So maybe for the sake of the rating, this is maybe not the best card for us that were chosen, because you're getting the worst possible experience.
Well, we'll play another one. We'll play one with a proper card, then maybe we have a plain one. Just to experience the full range.
I don't even know if we have... You know what? I think I know which one might have a plane on it. Maybe. I'll see.
Would you have to go back into single player to unlock it?
No. I saw one race in the menu there that looked like it could have been a plain one. Oh, was it Boulder Canyon?
No, that's
No.
a water one.
I think it's this one, because you see those bananas in the air?
Let's try it.
I think this is plain...
It looks like it maybe shifts between them.
I don't think I don't think this is a Sonic Racing Transformed situation.
Well, let's just stick with the planes then, because that's what's pre-selected for us. Okay.
I don't see why there would be boosts on the ground with the plane levels, but
Inverted flight controls.
as it should be.
Better to control in the air, I'll give it that. Fuck you, Banjo. Again, frames for days.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's our fault for playing with sound.
Yeah, stupid us. At least I'll probably get first on this, unless something catastrophic happens, which it might very well with my luck.
I'm missing every banana, every item.
What does the magnet do?
I don't know.
Cool.
I honestly don't know.
I will say the oversteer not as bad in the plane as it is in the water, so you were correct in that assessment that everything's different in the water.
I mean, I do like that about this game, that there are very different vehicles that you can play, different styles. And there are races where you can choose, like, hey, I don't want to have a hover craft. I would rather be in a plane.
I'm just using the level 1 power-ups. Seems like they're fine most of the time. Especially if I'm just trying to boost.
I don't have it right now, but I like the level 2, what you call it? Level 2 attack, because that's homing.
It's good having a bit of agency in, like, okay, I know the red ones are going to be attacks, the blue ones are going to be boosts. So if I'm in first, I'm like, well, I don't need attacks, because I'm staying in front. So at least that's, like, an idea.
Like, I don't think this is a great game, but I think this has good ideas. I think this implements some good ideas, but ultimately, it's not my favorite kart racer. But I think it is higher up there than most of the stuff we've played.
Are any of these... Is this going to be on the ground?
Yeah, that's on the ground. I did that one already.
Oh, yes.
I think the only one we haven't done is Boulder Canyon.
Ugh. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, that's the only one we haven't done.
It's in the water, though. I don't want to do a fucking hoverboat. I'll just do Ancient Lake. And see, we can do a hover if you wanted to on here. Or
How are
a
you
plane.
choosing those?
Up and down on the analog stick.
On the analog stick.
You know what? I'm going to go with a car. You can go with whatever you want to go with.
Okay. I'm so modern controller pilled, I forgot the fact that the N64 was not designed for you to use the D-pad and the analog stick.
Now, let's see how this goes. Let's see if the plane is just a gigantic advantage that you'd be stupid to not elect for. I get the feeling it might be.
I'm not that far
pace.
ahead. Also,
Yeah.
I'm missing shit, so...
You get so many more boosts than I do, though.
Uh-oh. Oh, no, please go.
Are there level 3 power-ups as well?
Yes, there are.
Maybe I should hold out for that.
How'd I miss?
No level 4 power-ups, though, right?
No.
Wow, that really wasn't worth it.
Hey, now you've experienced all 3 vehicles.
I sure have, across as many tracks as the game allowed us, deigned for us to be allowed to play,
Yeah.
without grinding the adventure mode first. I can see the appeal. To be clear, I can see the appeal. I can understand a rare head coming into this and being like, oh, I love having to work for stuff. And, you know, there are games that I've absolutely advocated for, like, progression being good on, like, unlocking things being substantive, being a good thing, but entire, like, a fourth of the game, less than a fourth of the game being available until you go into that adventure mode seems a little egregious to me.
Yeah, for the sake of multiplayer, it's not a good system. As a single-player game, fine. Good progression.
Well, that will do it for Diddy Kong, and we move on to a new mascot. Or not new necessarily, it's one you're familiar with, but you may not know they had a kart racing game. And that mascot is Bomberman in Bomberman Fantasy Race, Wacky Animal Racing. This was developed by Graphic Research, published by Hudson Soft and/or Atlas. I'm gathering from the Atlas in the bottom right corner. Another game I did not know existed. I know Louie. I know this rabbit, but I must know him from something else. Is this his debut? I don't know. I don't know from Bomberman. But yeah.
I've seen him and Bomberman in the same room a couple of times.
But a Bomberman racing game for the Sony PlayStation. January 29th, 1999 release, if this is to be believed. Do I have notes on this one? Oh, I see. Released in Japan on January 29th, 1998. Released in North America on April 16th, 1999. All right, that's fair. Do I have an advertisement flyer for this one? If you can't beat 'em, bomb 'em. Truer words never been spoken. Wacky Animal Racing. This is war.
Do you think that was... Wasn't it the entirety of Ted's manifesto?
A little blue tonight. Wait till we get to Dragon Ball Legend of Goku on the show. It's yeah, I guess let's...
I had to stumble over my words because I was like, what can I say that doesn't get us demonetized?
Huh?
Thank you, Toad.
Oh, I love this old Atlas logo. I associate this logo with Thousand Arms for the PlayStation 1. A superior JRPG. / visual novel.
I don't remember that one.
Mai's Triumph. And Wina Grapple, my first anime crush.
Do you have a save date on this one already, or?
Let's find out.
Nope.
No data. Oh, well.
All right, well, we're going to have to go through adventure mode to unlock.
Mech Bomber 15, specifically.
Yeah.
How many characters do I get? 5?
5.
Yep. Yeah, go ahead and save.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the sound of a PlayStation saving.
Mm-hmm.
Cass.
That's a lot of symbols there. Oh, anime. Everyone on that ship going,
Ooh, woo. Hell yeah, high energy.
Okay. That seemed abrupt.
I'm trying to dial in the volume here. Don't mind me, folks. Alright, this should do it.
Remember those GameCube Bomberman games
No.
that were you don't. They were like based on the anime, like Bomberman Jetters and stuff, and there was like just
Bomberman
a
had an
lot of
anime?
character interaction. Yeah.
What the fuck was Bomberman anime about?
I never saw it, but I'm assuming it's about Bomberman and his friends saving the world from bad guys.
One player mode, versus mode, stable. I do
assume
know
because
there's
we're like
on the
racing
kangaroos.
horses.
You can take that to the bank. Options. Let's show me some options. Check out.
Ugh.
Awful. Just awful way of displaying this.
I'm really trying to parse this.
I don't
Okay,
think it uses
L1,
L2 or
I get
R2. L1 map.
Right.
Down is dash. Left is
No,
right.
Down is
right.
Okay. No. Up is dash. Because look, remember how PlayStation buttons are shaped?
Oh, yeah, well, that's awful. That's just terrible. Up for dash, left for left, right for right. It makes more sense, but horrible way to display it on here. Also, key config as opposed to config. That's clearly an E and not an F up there, as Amball Gang pointed out to me. Camera, jump, bomb, run. Sure. I'll jump into one player for starters. Okay, we have Green Louie, Tira, Green Louie,
That's it.
Tira, Green Louie, Tira. Okay, we can invest in... Wait, this says select course, but I'm clearly not selecting a course. I'm clearly selecting a power-up at the top of this. I have 100 GB to spend. I'm not going to spend a dime. I'm assuming I want to save my money.
I wonder
Okay,
if you just go in with no bombs.
4, 5, 6. 6 courses available by the look of it. Let's start in Bomber Coast Lake. If we get first place...
Wait, it costs money to get a ticket?
Yep.
So you started with 100. What if you bought an item and you got here and it's like, well, I can't afford to race. I'm just gonna go home with my art.
Don't miss the jump pads marked with an exclamation point. These will give you an extra boost of speed. Good to know.
Now, do you hit the jump button on the jump pads, or you just run over the jump pads?
Oh. Why did it let me even...
That's realistic. I mean, if you wanted to in real life, you could cheat.
Oh, shit. So they started on the yellow. I have a bomb. So I'm not completely defenseless. So I am hitting myself more. Okay. What was the jump button again?
Circle.
Okay, good to know.
I'm guessing that your blue bar is your boost. Okay, can't swim.
Hey, you remember Yoshi?
Oh yeah, that Bomberman character.
Oh. Oh. Yeah, don't love this. Out the gate. In fact, can I just retry?
Okay.
Because it feels like I'm so fucked on this one. Is it going to cost me money to retry this? Or are they going to take some mercy on me?
Mr. Taco asks, is this like Sonic R? Or would this be a Sonic R-like?
Potentially.
I mean, Sonic R didn't have items to use.
Yeah, there's a reason why we didn't choose Sonic R for this.
And you know what? I'm gonna ask the question: does this qualify as a kart racer, considering that you're on steeds?
Spiritually, yes. It's a mascot character with items and fantastical courses with like jumps and other weird stuff you wouldn't see on a traditional racetrack.
Okay, I agree. Just wanted to set some, set some baselines for what we're counting.
If you hold up, you can do a dash. I think that's going
Right.
to drain the stamina.
Yeah, that's what I was asking, if the blue bar was your
We have to find the
dash.
answer by ourselves.
Say something nice.
The little kangaroo fellas are cute. They're not great at racing. They're not great at being controlled like animals, but like
I wonder if you have to. I wonder if you have to like raise them up,
Yeah, probably.
like take care of them or something.
Might be like chocobos in Final Fantasy VII, where there's different like colors indicate different specialties and stuff. And there's a gold
Yeah.
kangaroo you can unlock or something.
Did you ever complete that whole
Yes.
thing? Yeah, me too. I had to get nice of the round.
Never again in my life will I ever play Final Fantasy VII to that extent, but I did it my requisite one time.
I think what helped me do it was A, I had a guide, and B, I played the Switch version when I finally did it.
Oh no, I did
And that Switch version, Switch version has like speed up controls and all sorts of like quality of life shit.
No, I did that on a PS1, baby. That's
Yeah.
I did it for real.
I'm at the point, having played it a couple of years ago, and thinking about all the other versions of Final Fantasy VII I've played, including the special PC version I had that for some reason rendered every pre-rendered thing upside down and backwards.
Special edition.
I don't think I could play Final Fantasy VII unless it was specifically that Switch version, because the quality of life stuff is so good.
Yeah, just the ability to fast forward or whatever, that comes with
Yeah.
it. Oh god, I'm cheating. I'm cheating because I want to win this race. In the hopes that Jesus Christ.
You need to get your money back.
Otherwise I'll be broke.
Like the purse for like winning this race is 150 gold points.
Come on. Let me have this. Ugh.
No.
Whatever, I'll take second.
So 80. That's not enough to do another race.
Sure, save. Sabotage my ass. I'm gonna jump right into versus mode. I
Yeah, go for it.
don't feel particularly compelled to do another solo race in this one.
I don't think you can afford to do another solo race in this one. I think your career's over. You're definitely... Oh, never mind. Now, do we have enough money to do versus mode?
We'll find out, won't we?
New player, new game.
You have to select this.
Do I have... Okay. I'll be this munchkin.
Are you sure? Are you sure about that? Alright, what's the bit gonna be? Okay, very good.
Yeah, save.
Annball Gang says, I wish you good luck. In the words of a famous game, it's... Yeah, please do not overwrite my save data. I'll try the Tira.
Okay, I'll go with Green Louie.
I'm taking nothing with me.
Same.
Okay, we can bet on this.
Okay.
I'll bet the maximum.
All right, I had no say in that. I was gonna bet nothing.
I like to play for stakes.
I don't.
Ah. Well timed. Yeah, you see, we just get items. There are items you just get for. I feel like it's really hard to not just run into your own bombs if you throw them forward. Ugh. I don't know how to take the turns. There's not like a break. I guess the down button is break, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
How are you finding the feeling of this game?
Strange.
Maybe a little floaty.
It feels like anyone in front of anyone else has an unfair advantage.
Why am I glowing? I guess that was a
I
homing
don't know,
bomb.
maybe
of
it's
some
good.
I thought you went into the crowd. I thought you went into the stands there. I completely lost sight of you with whatever you did there.
I used the jump pad.
There was a jump. I didn't even see that. There was supposed to be a giant exclamation point for it, right?
I thought that's what they said, but it's a paw.
I'm sure it's possible to master these controls, but I missed the. I tried to jump into the jump thing and it just didn't do it. Maybe my Rhino guy doesn't jump as high as the kangaroo does.
Who's to say? I don't know. I think this game's great.
We traded 20 GP between us. So you don't even make money in this mode. You just
So, okay. No, you could... Okay, here's what you do, right? If you want to play the same single player, you go into race mode, you make dummy accounts,
into
bet
sabotage
everything,
him.
and just like keep racing against a second controller that no one's using. And
Now-
you just make 20 gold after 20 gold.
I can't help but notice
Uh-huh.
we only have these two tracks. The
Seems
one I
like it.
bought in what seems like the default track. It's doing the
Oh,
Diddy
oh,
Kong racing
yeah.
thing.
Go through single player. I feel like some of these games somehow made multiplayer an afterthought.
I can't
Yeah, race for
afford-
the love of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, the love of this game that I have. The love in my heart that I have for this. I should have switched away from the Rhino and back to the kangaroo.
Ew.
The bomb mechanic is novel, if not not well implemented.
Hey, move. Move? Move.
Did you tire them out?
No, I wasn't hitting that thing. I don't know why he just stopped. What? Interesting.
Oh, god damn it! The oversteer is...
Like, bring on down is bad.
The fucking momentum, the sliding here is poor fucking endous. At least, like, bumping into the walls doesn't seem to do much. You just kind of, like, get ping-ponged off of them, which is about the only saving grace for the controls here I can think of.
Bad when that happens, though. I disagree with what you said. About the ping-pong being good.
Okay, never mind, you're right. You're correct. Fuck the fuck the bumpers, fuck the pinballing.
You in front of me? Yes. Now you're not. Goodbye. Oh, wait, that was a shortcut. I didn't know there was a shortcut there because it didn't render in. You in front of... No, I'm in front of you, somehow.
Yeah, I can't even begin to parse this. I know Strawberry Rose is in chat right now trying to do their best to explain the mechanics of this game. I can't read it either while I'm playing, unfortunately.
I wish I had chameleon eyes so I could look at that screen and the screen I'm looking at, but sorry. Alright, how bad will I fuck this up? I try to do it again. Oh, missed. Somehow. And in the water.
I see something about it never feeling great to take turns, and the track design gets really mean later on. I see that out the corner of my eye. This isn't mean. This track here isn't mean already. Of the 6 courses in this game. Okay.
Hey, you're gonna win this one. I just...
Oh, what a victory it feels like for me.
I know, it's everything you always hoped for. Johnny Bagger says, yeah, the draw distance is really bad for a racing game.
I feel like that's one of those things you really need to have in a racing game, the ability to see in front of you more than a couple feet, but I guess it wasn't a priority. I guess it wasn't priority numero uno for them at graphic research.
Oh, you introduce... Oh, I have to hit... Okay. Well, we're done.
Yeah, we're done with this one. We are absolutely done with that game.
Let's say, while you introduce the next game, I gotta go step away again.
Yes, you go ahead, and I will introduce that next game, which comes to us courtesy of Vivid Image, the same developers behind Street Racer. I told you they'd come up again tonight. And their next game, their next big kart racing game, S.C.A.R.S. I have a note here. While working on the various ports of Street Racer between the Sega Saturn, PlayStation, Super NES, Genesis, Amiga, Game Boy, etc., 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 Vivid Image and Ubisoft decided it would be a good idea to create a 3D racing game, because Street Racer on PS1 did not fucking count. Specifically for the next-gen consoles, Mev Dink, who headed Vivid Image, developed a concept of cars based on wildcats and other animals, with tracks that reflected their natural habitats. Ubisoft loved the idea and provided some of their own graphics and sound design resources to help fill the otherwise strained team. Originally, the game was going to be called Vivid Racing, but after some iterations, they instead decided on S.C.A.R.S, which stands for Supercomputer Animal Racing Simulator. In case you're curious about the acronym there. Let's look at an ad for this. Scarred for Life. Again, not the cell that they may have thought it was. I see ads like that and I'm like, oh, stay away. I'd like to remain relatively unscarred, thank you very much, personally speaking. We're playing the N64 version. This also came out on PlayStation, if the advert is to be believed, but I don't know why we're playing the N64 version. It felt appropriate with Mario Kart 64 to orient ourselves towards the N64 versions of games where available. Dial in that volume. Welcome to the S.C.A.R.S universe. Happy to be here.
We mentioned this during the N64 Fight Night. that there were games that we were playing that were on multiple systems, but just felt like N64 games.
Yeah.
This is one of those games that just feels like N64 to me, even though it did come out on PlayStation.
Oh my god, you will not believe the plot to this game as I read it from the launch box description. In the world of 3000 AD, the world is run by 9 different supercomputers who are horribly bored, so they created this virtual reality simulation to race each other. The cars are based on the attributes of extinct Terran animals. Race 9 different cars, some need to be unlocked, on 9 different tracks. You can race or you can shoot your opponents with the 9 different weapons. Look at the number 9 here. I suppose a computer would. I suppose I'll do a 1-player for starters. Can't select the number of laps even. I'll turn Rumble Pack off because it's not going to work anyway. I think there's a cheat to unlock everything. Let me...
My memories of this game are mainly seeing it advertised in magazines, seeing it at Blockbuster but never renting it, and a old Vinny Vinesauce Corruptions video where it just completely destroyed every single track.
The way it was meant to be played. Oh. Did that do what I wanted it to do? Oh.
All TID?
No, it's supposed to be all vid. I'm rewinding because it's like... This is supposed to unlock all cars. Right. Oh, wait. Is this for the right version of the game? Oh, no. I was looking at the PC version. For all cars and cups, I need to do GG Woo! So let's get that up and running quickly. See if anyone is saying anything in chat about this game. Does anyone know what this game is? Has anyone ever played this game before in the history of time?
Let's see. I don't know if anyone has played it before. Some Handball games says they also came out on Windows PC.
Get a bad system. Anything that uses L and R for entering passwords as you scroll left and right through. Is this... Okay? It doesn't give you like a confirmation or anything. I hit save and I'm like, okay, hopefully that's...
Yeah, trust in it. Alright.
Alright, squint and try to figure this out. Try to parse this.
Oh, wait. Wait. Sorry. VR mode. Ooh. Okay. Alright, I got it, I think. See, buttons don't look that important.
Choose your cup.
Cool, it didn't do the thing I expected it to do. Well, remember the password? GGWWOO. That's what it says on GameFAQs. All cars and cups. Simply enter in the corresponding password. Oh, I had to press B.
That's not the code I see.
Well, I'm looking at the N64 version specifically.
I am also looking at the N64 version specifically.
What are you seeing for the code that is, because I'm looking right at various codes. N64, to unlock the following, simply enter in the corresponding password. GGWWOO for all cars and cups.
Mine says codes for S.C.A.R.S N64, WLLYDD.
That is for all cars only. Look at the left-hand side if you're on Game FAQs.
I am not on Game FAQs because that seemed to not work.
Again, just make better menus. Make better UI, developers. Please, for the love of God, in 1998.
Choose your cup.
Fuck it. Hey, guess what, game? If you don't have functional fucking passwords, if you don't have a functional UI for entering passwords, you don't get to see your game. Simple as that. Yet to beat me to win the cup, lots of luck, you'll need it.
VividNet uploading.
So already this game's off on a great foot with me, who holds a grudge for these things, even though it's... Now, they didn't write the Game FAQs page, they just made a shitty menu that makes it unclear how to actually submit the password after you've typed it in. Doesn't tell you whether you got it right or wrong or anything of the sort. It's just like, yeah, save. You want to save your changes? Oh. Okay. You turn headlights on.
You can turn VR mode on with C up, I think. Oh, does that just mean
person.
camera?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like that. I like being able to see my car relative to where it is on the track. I like knowing how wide I am. Ugh. Cool music. They have the time bomb from fucking...
They do.
That's the one feature they needed to bring over. That was the one that's like, you know, we may be making a new game, but we have to have some continuity here in our features. Make sure you have that obnoxious, shitty bomb mechanic that we innovated in Street Racers.
Oh, it's good to see that you're paying its due respect by, as in that game, picking it up for no apparent reason.
Again, I couldn't tell from the iconography which one it was. Seems easy enough. Whatever that's worth. Not very exciting.
No? You saw how the track was, like, drawn in, though. That was cool.
Yeah, they're really pushing the computer angle here, the VR and supercomputers and so
The
forth.
3D
Making it
thing.
feel like the future, and then just immediately depositing you into, like, ancient temple aesthetic.
Well, it's a simulation, you know. The past. Soul Stuff says, I don't know why, but this feels like it should be a Bionicle game.
Speak up a little louder, by the way.
Oh. Sonic Guru asks, will Sonic R be on the list? No. Not a kart
No,
racer.
no
by our
items. It's also just miserable to play. In my
Visual to
personal
play is not why
estimation.
we're not playing it. But,
Yeah, no, I mean,
But just not a kart racer by our definition. You missed Sonic Drift in the first episode.
we gave Sonic Drift its due.
This is still going.
I think it's a 5-lapper.
I think it's a 4-lapper.
They just had to screw me at the
Yep.
last second. Nope, 5-lapper.
No, this is the 4th lap. This is 4-4.
Is it? Oh.
Yes.
Now I see it at the bottom. I passed it off at the
okay.
last second.
I don't know how you passed it.
I think they rear-ended me, and that somehow fucked them over. And these stoppers are really obnoxious. I'm happy to litter the track with them, but
You know, Street Racer had like 10 laps per race, but they didn't feel like they went on as long as this does.
much shorter tracks.
Yeah, very short tracks. Sakura asks, which drift? Both of them?
Ugh. Come on, let me have this. Let me have this.
There you go.
Player 1. Yeah, that's good enough for me. Accelerate on green light for fast starts. Good for them to tell you that. I don't want to go to the next race in that. I want to bang my head against this fucking password screen again, like an idiot.
Right,
but
let
this
me-
time we'll have
all right.
two-player mode.
Alright, which password did you put in with the W's last time? That's
GGWWOO for all
Yeah.
cars and cups, according to N64 cheat codes on Game FAQs.
According to IGN, to unlock all cars and tracks, it says enter the password WLLYDD or WLLVDD.
Yeah, that just says all cars on the on Game FAQs, so you can see why. I'll try it.
Maybe VD gets you the tracks and YD gets you the cars.
VD, you said?
Yeah, try VD. I assume you did LD before. I assume you did YD before.
Okay, hit A. It says saving, please wait.
Okay. See if that did anything. Versus.
Choose your cup.
No.
Go to versus and see if.
Choose your track.
No.
Okay.
So I think if I press B for backwards, it says yes, no. Which I would assume would do something different, but I guess not. How do you fuck this up? How do you fuck up a password entry? Hello? I pressed start that time. Maybe that'll do something different. I Am Headful says it's unlocking tracks, not cups. No, it's not unlocking anything. We're gonna play this island track, and then we're gonna not play any more of this game. You want? What time of day do you want to race at?
Just do it during the day. See shit. All right.
I did not expect the running theme of this series to be the most dogshit, worthless UIs by the most incompetent motherfuckers in the universe. And Vivid is guilty, because that Street Racer UI was also absolutely, unequivocally unacceptable, in my estimation. So these guys just never learned how to do UI
Cass?
design. What?
Cass, you might need to... Wait.
Sorry, I'm pressing A to try and select...
What are my buttons doing right now?
Let's make sure we load the controls. Yeah. Or it could just be that they, again, fucked up the controls beyond any acceptable recognition or degree. You're in the name select. You hit edit name at some point.
Okay, so that's... Okay, I see it now. That doesn't work. Okay, whatever. Fuck it.
Just select a car.
Bananas.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw one more code that was trying to do that stuff on select, but it didn't work. What button is do the thing?
Z.
Okay.
The dinner bell's ringing. In the soundtrack. Are you appreciating the draw in here? In this split screen multiplayer?
It really gives me the feeling of a supercomputer trying to draw on this track of the old Earth from memory.
Yeah. Supercomputer running on a whopping 64 megabytes of RAM.
I really like old sci-fi, having no idea of how fast technology would move. So it's stuff like 1 gigabyte of memory, what hath God wrought? Like, I'm of the opinion, right, that if you set your sci-fi at any date in the future, pick a date that's long after you're dead. Like, people in, like, the 80s love to set their sci-fi stuff in, like, 1995. Like, don't do that.
Far-flung future!
You're gonna look like a fool, and you'll be alive to see it.
So how does this game feel to you? Pretty unspectacular, right?
Yeah, that's a good word for it. I was gonna say I don't feel anything.
Well, of course you're not gonna feel anything. It's a computer simulation. Emotions are meaningless in the computer.
I feel, for some reason, I know these tracks aren't that long, but they feel like they take forever.
This is absolutely N64 coded, this game, as we've
Yes.
brought up. You know, it does exist on the PlayStation as well.
And PC, apparently.
Oh, it's literally just a hot potato. You just toss the bomb back and forth.
Oh.
Every time you do the use button, it just tosses it back to another player. So obviously the move here is...
Let it blow up on you?
No, I threw it. I threw it at you.
I didn't get. I don't think I got hit.
You did.
don't
It had 1 second
did?
left on it. Then I threw it. Then I saw you blow up because I looked down to confirm it.
Oh, I didn't even notice myself getting blown up.
Oh, now it's not letting me toss it. Now it's just circling around on me. Well, it didn't seem to do much to me, so...
Yeah, it's not that much of an issue.
A minor inconvenience, truly.
I think the reason it's circling around is because we're too far away from each other.
Maybe.
Like, I think you pulled out too far in the lead for it to actually hit me. This, despite the aesthetic of the tracks and everything that's happening, this still feels like the most dull one we've played tonight.
Yeah, utterly generic in spite of everything.
And we played a literal go-kart simulator.
We're not gonna do any more racing. I just have to look at these options and just marvel at how bad this is. How they just completely fucked up the idea of a password entry. I'm trying every button on the controller and just nothing. Yeah, that's gonna do it for S.C.A.R.S, which I'm absolutely gonna dock points for just for having a non-functional password entry. And is that absolutely like gets my goat like nothing else. It's just like this the absolute failure to understand the very fundamentals of conveying options to a player. That counts for a lot in my books, and this game does not fucking qualify. Let's do one more game tonight.
Alrighty.
Again, I had 13 games planned for tonight. We made it to 8. But that just means that we have more of this show to do in the future. It means that the show will go on for that much longer. The next game, the last game of tonight that we're going to play, is Chocobo Racing. This is a March 18th, 1999 release. Probably just the North American version. Do I have a note here about when it came out in? Nope, it might just be a global release on that day. Developed by Squaresoft, published in North America as a joint venture by Square and Electronic Arts, who had a partnership for a period of time where they did joint publishing on some games. Let's see what the advert says. Floor it or get out of the way. Intense. And you look at these characters who are just absolutely adorable coded, who are just absolutely cutesy. Not a single like bit of edge on any of these characters.
They didn't even give Kirby North American eyebrows to the Chocobo.
No. So, no info on this game beyond the release date from me and that little factoid about Square and EA briefly working together. Let's get into it. Let's see if we can ride this Chocobo. We better put on a show, etc., etc.
That was a good song.
It is.
Let's
see if the game's as good as the song. Isn't it cheating for the Chocobos to be wearing like rocket boots and stuff? Isn't the whole point of a Chocobo that they run real fast?
I mean, they probably don't run as fast as a car. They're not Sonic.
Sick song.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I can't really expect a Final Fantasy themed game to have bad music, so.
Just go around him, Chocobo. That works too.
This would have been good in Theatrhythm.
Oh, shredding. But who won the race?
It looked like Chocobo.
I mean, it is their game, after all.
Oh,
Start
we could
game
view the...
or view Chocobo's Dungeon 2 preview. It's right
You ever
at the
play
main
those?
menu. No.
You ever play those Chocobo Mystery Dungeon games?
No, I have not.
I keep meaning to. I like roguelites. The roguelikes, I think, is more appropriate for Mystery Dungeon.
I have a complete save for this one. So no dealing with bullshit. Should just have everything out the gate.
Oh! The back.
Oh, sorry. Oh, we can see all the movies. Chubby
really
Chocobo.
I was really expecting to, like, yell and curse at the entire stream, so this is the first one.
We can just skip directly to the ending because we have this full save. I don't think we will. We don't want to spoil this for... Alright. Accelerator on square breaks on...
No.
I mean, we can... Thank God we can remap that.
Okay, there we go.
Triangle for reverse. Magic and ability. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's a weird default, but again, at least you can fucking change it. Chocobo's Big Adventure. Try to build the best racer. Can I just do a singular race? I mean, I guess that'd be time attack.
Oh, yeah. Singular race would be time attack.
I'm gonna pick Grand Prix just so I can see other racers on the road. Alright, I should have everyone unlocked here, which includes Chocobo, Moogle, Mog the Moogle, Black Magician, Goblin, White Mage, Bahamut, Chubby Chocobo, Behemoth, Golem, and Squall. I guess that's everyone. I guess that's...
Yeah.
I'll do Chocobo because it's his game.
Ooh, okay.
I'll take the Gunblade. Speed up until you take the lead.
Chocobo with the Gunblade. Alright.
Let me decide. Sid's Test Track. Final Fantasy 7 or Final Fantasy 8 circuit. Fantasia, Mithromines, Ancient Gate, Gingerbread Land, Volcano Valley, the Black Manor.
What was that one all the way to the left? I don't think you read that one out loud.
Floating Gardens.
Alright, you're selecting all the courses.
Yeah, they make you select 4. I'm only going to do 1 or 2. I'll go right down the middle.
I assume that's like your CC?
Yeah, or it could just be difficulty of the AI in general. Okay. Sweet.
So I saw you had abilities and magic. Okay, I get it. I get it. Your Gunblade is your ability, and you pick up the magic on the track.
Let's see if I can figure out how to take these corners without just bumping into them. Yeah, you have to let go of accelerator.
Hold on, I'm turning up the volume on mine so I can hear this music.
I'm way behind. Oh, I saw some Final Fantasy 1 sprite art there. That was cute.
Oh, you got Cast of Tiny. You know what? That, I feel, instead... Okay, Mini? Sure, that's a Final Fantasy spell. I think it should have been Frog.
Maybe there is a frog. Who's to say? All I know is that I'm absolutely not winning this race. Yeah, it feels like I need to come to a complete stop for the turns to approach these with any degree of efficacy. And oh my god, they are punishing me in last place. I'm getting absolutely rocked by every single thing.
You almost got your ability up.
It's helpful and it's not.
Yeah. It did say speed up until you get to first place, so maybe you're just faster forever now until you get first place, which is, yeah, blessing and a curse. You've got a lot of magic built up there.
Is that using magic?
Yes. Now, did that destroy your gunblade?
I think it did.
Yes. Man, they fucking hate you.
Yeah, look how far behind I am. It's times like this where, like, you know, where it just feels like there's absolutely no hope. Like, why would I continue to play?
This is a pretty rough for a first track in terms of my turns there. I have a feeling that this is not
the ideal first track. I had to pick a random track, yeah. Or I decided to pick just whatever track.
I'm getting the feeling that this is maybe like a later game track.
I'm not just gonna sit here and
take this.
Yeah, that's. I'm not gonna let myself get lapped here. Hold L2 and R2 and select Squall for the best character in the game.
I saw that. I was thinking of doing that.
Let's just go right into versus mode on this one.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, player 1 versus player 2.
Oh, were you gonna try it or was I gonna?
I'll let you do it.
Okay.
It says Jack. So I guess select Jack. And I'll be
here to
the
kill
white
chaos. Fucking hate chaos.
I'll just take a regular ass dash, why don't I?
I mean, I'll take the gunblade. It sounded good. Okay, where do you want to go?
I think they have difficulty.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so that's the only...
That's the easy one.
Let's go with, let's go with this Moogle Forest.
Okay.
3 laps. See if they put other opponents on the track, or if it's just the
Jack?
2 of us. Oh my god, you're 3D Outrunner, or whatever. 3D World Runner.
I'm very slow.
I didn't know his name was Jack. Wild deep cut, but good for him. Now, I don't have AI to compare this to. But when there's less people on the track and less bullshit being tossed my way, and I'm allowed to just toss bullshit at you on command, it seems like. Much more manageable. Yeah, your character seems fucked.
Yeah, we'll do another race where I pick a character where I can actually play the game.
A novel concept. I love this casting lightning from a mile away and just continuing to sabotage your ass.
Oh good, Doom.
Oh hey. How's it going?
I mean, I'm not going to even use my ability, because Doom is going to take me out in a second. Alright, now use my ability. Doom again.
Vivian King from the Final Fantasy Wiki. Jack runs and races by foot and is one of the shortest characters in the game. These characteristics also make Jack, along with Cactar, the slowest racer in the game. He is, however, much faster in reverse.
L1 and R1 for Brea on Squall. Now, Mr. Taco, does that character also suck balls?
I'll roll the dice on that.
Okay.
It says SS Invincible. I'm assuming this is not Brea. I'm assuming this is some other complete different character and we're being tricked again. But I will accept it. I'll take charge.
I'm still taking Gunblade.
I'm trying to find what's course number 3 here. The Ancient Gate. Oh, L1, L2 is Aya Brea. We picked a different character. Might have to do a third race. Who's to say?
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is... Okay, the SS Invincible, literally... It's the airship. And it has horrendous handling.
I mean, it's fast as fuck, though. Like, even with bad handling, I am not catching up with you.
It feels like that one thing from Kirby's Air Ride. That one vehicle you can ride that just you can't turn unless you come to a complete stop. Slime Generator says these secret characters are pretty cute. Yeah, I'll give it that. It's a fun gimmick. It's funny seeing like pixel art in this game.
It's going to be real funny when I time out Mr. Taco for screwing me over in all these races.
Well, you didn't get screwed over. I mean...
Yes, I got screwed over twice. You took this one, which ended up being the best. And I took the worst. I'm not going to time you out, Mr. Taco. Don't worry about it.
Oh. Reverse, reverse, reverse. Let me reverse. Ugh. Reversing sucks. I can tell you that much for free.
Yeah, it's like a whole different button, right?
It's triangle, and then it's just not good. Oh, Jesus wept. Am I gonna lose this because the reversing in this game is horrendous?
Yay, never mind, Mr. Taco, you're fine.
Promote you to VIP. Oh, and now my,
Yeah, I have to.
look at the, my guy is struggling to navigate
Oh, yeah.
as he's being AI guided. Okay, L1, L2. I'm
Right.
still gonna
You
roll
know
the
what?
dice.
I'm going to go R1, R2 over on Squall. And
Just to see what
I get.
happens.
Yeah.
Oh,
wait, yeah.
oh, you can pick a classic
Classic
Chocobo.
Chocobo. All right.
I'm wondering if there's any other characters you can select that have different buttons.
I tested them. I don't think so. I think it's all on Squall. I mean, Gunblade's real good.
Are we ready for a level 3 course?
Ready for level 5 course?
The Black Manor. All right, let's see Aya Brea. My girl.
I still need to play that game.
She's in a cop car. Fuck off. God damn it. Not allowed to have fun things. I don't
like
really
my
expect
little
her to be
booty
on
wiggle.
foot, I guess. It's
My Chocobo just wiggling his butt.
I wonder what you look at from different angles. I hope to never find out.
I don't know if this would even have different... well,
Oh, there you go.
there's the front of a Chocobo. What are your thoughts on this game in general right now?
Believe it or not,
We're playing as very weird characters in terms of handling, but...
believe it or not, I don't think I hate it. In fact, I dare to say this is actually pretty good. It seems to have a lot of bonus content and a lot of unlockable stuff, which, you know, compared... But it also seems to have, like, stuff unlocked from the top, maybe. I guess I would have to see a save without everything unlocked to see what you're limited in. I think I know for a fact the Final Fantasy VIII track is unlockable. You have to do a cheat to unlock that, or otherwise beat the game to unlock that.
I really don't like the items. I feel like the items in this are particularly...
Yeah, the items, I think, aren't great, but I think the handling outside of reversing is fine. I think this game has a lot of charm.
Yeah, charm, absolutely.
And that counts for a lot compared to some of the absolutely fucking charmless games we've played thus far tonight. I mean, Bomberman also had charm, but I despise that one. So I don't know. I'm just wildly inconsistent with my takes on these games. Ooh, that sucked. Getting hit hard by, like, successive power-ups is absolutely devastating.
I hit the...
Neck and neck.
Damn. That's a bad one.
Oh, okay, no! I overshot!
You have the dash power. That's why that's happening. Oh, you stole my thing.
Yeah, I mean, the power-ups do trail behind you, so I assume you can just, like, rear-end someone to steal them. Come on, let me live long enough to win.
That was close.
Yes, well played. You're winning the after race, though. You're way ahead of me on.
Yeah.
In the post race.
This is how you should have done it.
Yeah. I think that'll do it for Chocobo Racing.
Yeah, I think that'll do.
All right. And
Let me see if I can put this controller down and not hurt myself.
I wish you luck in that endeavor. Okay, so again, we did not get through nearly as many games as I expected to get through tonight.
Oh.
We could have gotten to Lego Racers. We could have gotten to South Park Rally tonight. But those will have to wait for the next episode. I think we're going to have to do this more than once a month. I think we're going to have to do this bi-weekly if we want to have any hope of getting through this before the end of the year. But just to make this night even longer, we also still have to rank the games we've played.
All right, let me...
And just for funsies, hey, here we are. Here on the ranking screen. Alright. I have the games pre-written down here. You can see spoilers from the games that we didn't get to, like Crash Team Racing. We stopped short of. But Mario Kart 64. That was the first game we played tonight.
I would put that at the top, easy.
Yeah, that's an easy one because Super Mario Kart to me is still pretty underwhelming on its own. It was only first based on the rip-off games that it was being compared against. But Mario Kart 64...
And 64 itself is kind of the platonic ideal of a kart racer.
And Games, it wasn't the first one you played tonight. Well, the Ayrton Senna doesn't count as a kart racing game, we determined, despite having kart in the title. Mega Man Battle and Chase.
I think I like this better than you, but probably not by that much. Let me think. I would put... I'm thinking back. I would put that right below... I'm going to be mean when I say this. I'm going to put it right below Sonic Drift. Your OG. I have a feeling you're going to be... Okay.
No, I think that's fine, because, I mean, it's still, for what it's worth, like... How do I put this? It has technology on its side. It has the advancements of 3D on its side. So I'd have just as soon put it above Super Mario Kart, even though I didn't like it at all. I mean, just as all these games, I would just write off, honestly, for the most part. Everything that is, because I don't dig that Mode 7 style. I mean, it was up to me. The Super Karts would still be higher up on the list, but that's a whole other conversation. But you know what? I think you're correct.
Yeah, I'm inclined to put a number of things tonight above Super Mario Kart, but I think there's some things that are going to drop below it.
I think so. Like Street Racer. This might as well have been a Mode 7 game. This might as well have been like a classic, early, primitive...
Originally.
It was in some of its revisions. Definitely below Super Karts for me. Is it worse than BC Racers? I think it's a little better than BC Racers.
Yeah. I agree.
I think BC Racers presents a particularly primitive one of that...
no pun intended.
Yes. I'm not clever enough to be punny, so... What game did I just select? Diddy Kong Racing.
I'm right below Mario Kart 64.
Yeah, I think that's fair, even if I don't dig on it, and I think the unlock system is ludicrous for what it is.
I think the racing itself is better than Super Mario Kart and the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I think that ultimately counts for a lot. Also, I'm going to shrink this down so we can see 10 on screen at a time.
And I do like the adventure mode, but I completely agree that there should be more unlocked from the start for the sake of it being a multiplayer game.
Trying to come up with a good compromise on size. I think this is it. I think this is a good. You can see 9 at a time. All right, Bomberman Fantasy Race.
Do I want to put it above Super Mario?
My point of reference is Mega Man Battle and Chase. I think it's on that tier.
I think it's better than Battle and Chase. No, it's not, actually. You know what? I just convinced myself that it's below that.
What's your reasoning? Give me some justification.
If I want to look at it in terms of, like, what's unlocked, like, there's barely anything unlocked to start with for characters. That system for, like, paying your way into stuff seems brutal. Like, you got second place and could not afford another race on that track after that, not having bought any items.
I hated the turning in it. I hated bouncing off the
turning's
walls.
bad. The ping-ponging stuff is awful. Like, just... Like, there were a number of times, you can go back and watch the footage, there was a number of times I just bounced off at a right angle into the abyss and died.
I think you're right. I think I agree with that. I think you made a persuasive argument. So Bomberman Fantasy Race, the new number 7. S.C.A.R.S. Competent. We have to bear in mind the game was competent, but utterly generic, utterly charmless, and also had an unacceptable fucking menu. Unacceptable UI.
I feel like I said earlier that I was going to put a lot of stuff above Super Mario Kart. I don't think I am, now that I think about it. Now that I think about what we have played tonight.
Was it better than Street Racer from Vivid? Yes.
Yes.
It's not going to go below number 10.
It was so dull. Like, I would put it maybe above Wacky Wheels. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think either of us give a shit about Wacky Wheels. I know Bobbinator in chat is
having a hard time remembering Wacky Wheels, but
Bobbinator in chat is going to bat for Wacky Wheels, saying I honestly would not put Battle and Chase above Wacky Wheels, but I might be somewhat biased. Wacky Wheels controls a lot better once you get used to the frame rate. But I think Wacky Wheels is, to me, the epitome of generic. Just in terms of games that came out in the immediate wake of Super Mario Kart, and we're just doing Super Mario Kart, Wacky Wheels is certainly one of those games. Is certainly, like, the driest, most direct. It's got cute animals, and that's great for it, but ultimately...
I would say despite having, like, fantastical environments and stuff, and, like, an idea behind it, S.C.A.R.S just seemed so dull to play.
Yeah, but I would still take it over, like, any of the Mode 7 games, honestly. I would still take it over any of the Mode 7 or Super Scalar type games. But I guess the question is, would I take it above a Mega Man Battle and Chase, which I was actively battling against? S.C.A.R.S may be generic, but it wasn't, like, offensive.
It was just dull, though.
But it was competent.
Mega Man Battle and Chase was bad. I mean, yeah...
It was competent in a way that Mega Man Battle and Chase and Bomberman Fantasy Race failed in fundamentals. And they may have charm for days, those games. They may have recognizable IP, and S.C.A.R.S might not have the benefit of that. And it does, again, I want to dock points just for the getting frustrated with the password entry screen. But, like, ultimately, if I'm being objective here, it controlled well. It maintained the frame rates. It had a variety of stuff that you had to unlock, ultimately. But it is in the game.
It's just personally... It's the only game I played tonight where I felt bored playing it. Where I felt like distinctly bored. Yeah.
I tell you what.
Mm-hmm.
Can I sandwich it between Mega Man and Bomberman Fantasy?
Yeah, that's fine.
Middle of the pack. Alright. And the last game we got around to playing tonight is Chocobo Racing.
Would put that below Diddy Kong Racing.
But above Super Mario Kart?
Above Super Mario Kart, I think it is, in general, more fun to handle and play than Super Mario Kart. I think that Chocobo Racing, as we fill out this list, which, God, this is going to be a long list by the end of it, but as we fill out this list, I think Chocobo Racing is going to drop lower and lower and lower. It controlled all right, except for some of the gimmick characters, but I feel like the items were like too
Lackluster.
aggressive.
Definitely failed it. Yeah. No, I think that's fair.
Like Lightning and Doom, and the fact that you could stack up several Dooms.
Yeah, I think you're correct. I think that's
Yeah.
fair. Okay, so that was relatively quick.
Yeah, it's still number 3, but it's gonna go
Not
down.
long for that spot, probably. Just like Mario Kart 64 probably won't remain number 1 forever. It might remain relatively high up.
It's probably going to be one of the higher ones by the end of the list. I would guess. I would hazard a guess.
Yes, so let's quickly go down the list from top to bottom. Mario Kart 64, Diddy Kong Racing, Chocobo Racing, Super Mario Kart, Sonic Drift 2, Sonic Drift 1, Mega Man Battle and Chase, S.C.A.R.S, Bomberman Fantasy Race, Wacky Wheels, Super Kart, Street Racer, BC Racers, Scunny Kart, and currently our worst, and maybe forever the worst, depends, Atari Karts for the Atari Jaguar, which really was truly wretched.
Yeah, I can't believe we had something worse than Scunny Kart.
Yeah, right out the gate, too. Again, this list will probably number into the hundreds. Low hundreds. Like 100, maybe. Like around 100 games by the time we bring this list to heel, by the time we finish this list. And we're going to have to try to remember all of these games and how we feel about them, which is going to be a challenge in and of itself. But I'm committed to this. I think this is, despite how frustrating some of these games can absolutely be, I think that this is a interesting series to pursue. It's an interesting genre to document. And again, we're already seeing like Mario Kart 64 begets this whole wave of just every publisher. The fact we got a Chocobo racing game, a Mega Man racing game, a Bomberman racing game, all these things like right out the gate when they realized that like the flag was raised, it's like, all right, we're all off to the races. Which that's intentionally, that is deliberate phrasing on my part. But that'll do it for the ranking segment for tonight. That'll do it for tonight's show. That'll do it for Kursed Kart Racers episode 2. Thank you, folks, for racing along with us today, for keeping pace with us. Thank you, Charky, for enduring and holding out and coming for a day of the races. We will continue this series in the near future. I think we need to do twice a month for this. I think this does need to be bi-weekly for a length of time until we make some significant bite into the games list, perhaps. Now, here's the question. Do we continue with more of the Mario Kart 64 inspired games in the next episode? We finish the list that we set out to start, the list of games I had intended, or do we take a handheld sojourn? Do we take a detour to cover some of the games that were still coming out in the wake of Super Mario Kart and the wake of Mario Kart 64, and we're trying to dumb it down for handheld before Super Circuit established what a handheld kart racer game should be like?
Personally, I think next episode we go for the handhelds and then pick up where we left off on the console games after that.
And so it shall be. So the next time around, the next time you see the segment, we're going to be playing a lot of Game Boy and Game Boy Color games, building up to the eventual release of Mario Kart Super Circuit in 2001 on Game Boy Advance, I believe. So we will get to that. We're going to get to everything either way. But the order we choose to do it in, I think, is going to be based on feel, a lot based on what we're feeling on a given week, what we want to address, how we want to mix things up, the variety we want to inject into this. So please, to look forward to it, viewers at home. And if you like what you saw tonight, consider joining the Discord server, which you can do here with our vanity URL, discord.gg/bghof. And if you really like what you saw here tonight, consider financially supporting the show. becoming a subscriber on Twitch, pledging on Patreon, becoming a member on YouTube, any or all of the above will grant you access on that Discord server to the Patreon Saints channel, wherein you can vote in polls and make suggestions for upcoming games for us to play. We appreciate that deeply. That being said, we are holding off on our next poll. We did finish Malice, which was voted for by patrons. You finished that playthrough, but because I will be away for this coming Tuesday and Thursday and potentially Saturday, I left it in Sharky's hands to start a playthrough this coming Thursday on what would be our patron-decided slot to begin a playthrough of Devil May Cry 2, along with Johnny Baghead, who will be accompanying you. So that will be certainly a fascinating one. I will look forward to watching that one myself.
Johnny and I both physically injured at the moment, so
wild how that turned out to happen. Unfortunate.
Hopefully we're both better by Thursday.
Hopefully you're better by Tuesday, because you also have a
yes.
show card up for Tuesday. What are you doing Tuesday?
Tuesday, everything goes right. Tuesday will be Games from a Hat returning, PS2 edition with Sid.
Awesome. So you'll be looking at a grab bag of PlayStation 2 games unknown to you. Just ones with interesting titles, I believe the premise is.
Yep. Ones I've interesting titles, never heard of before.
Very good. I should also mention that if you can't financially support the show, see how I always do this out of sequence. This is never going to be consistent.
You're going to have to write this down for me for when you're gone.
Yeah, I probably should.
I'm just going to be like, okay, bye.
And Saturday to be determined, by the way. But if you cannot financially support us, please consider sharing our suggested viewing playlist on YouTube. 20 hand-picked episodes we think make for great onboarding onto the show. Cursed Kart Racers Episode 1 on that list, I believe, because I feel pretty strongly about that episode. I feel pretty strongly about this series. Maybe link people to this series. Maybe link people to the playlist for Cursed Kart Racers on YouTube once the second episode goes up. And if you know a kart racing fanatic in your life, maybe you know a Mario Kart 64 speedrunner who'll get a kick out of this series, it'll crack him up. Who's to say? We leave it to your discretion, dear viewer. Beyond that, just thank you for showing up. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for chatting and contributing, as all you folk do. Between the Twitch chat and the YouTube comments and so on and so forth, we appreciate you. Let's see who's streaming at this hour. Who we can raid. Don't want to sponsor. I don't want to do a sponsored stream necessarily. So, tell you what, we're gonna be. This is actually an announcement here. This is actually a upcoming thing. We are participating in Jankuary, an event being held by Zophar of Zophar's Domain, who I did not know was still on the internet, and only recently discovered because they are hosting an event in January centered around jank games, hence the name Jankuary. So we're going to be contributing, playing Drake of the 99 Dragons on a Wednesday coming up as part of that. Not next week, the week after next, whatever Wednesday that lands on. So we will send folk Zophar's way in preparation for that upcoming program. And we'll have more details on that. We'll probably have to retweet some of the details of that and generally participate in that event and make sure that we can bring whatever we can to the table on that one. Mm-hmm. So something to look forward to. In the meantime, Zophar is playing Final Fantasy V, which I don't necessarily believe is a jank game, but let him know that we sent you anyway. Let him know the Bad Game Hall of Fame sent you, that we're doing our part and so forth. Again, thank you for tuning in, folks. Thank you for driving alongside us on Cursed Kart Racers. I have been your speed demon, Cassidy.
I've been Got the Banana Peel in last place, Sharky.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you, too. And bye!
Good night, everybody.